you? Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm your favorite bad girl, and I was thinking I'd give y'all a treat tonight. You know how you guys complain about the girl on the flyer is never in the club? So I thought I'd show up as the girl on the flyer, right? Give you what I advertise. Welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. I'm YouTube's bad girl, Jen, and tonight we're going to celebrate. Jen, what are we celebrating? It's just Friday. What are we celebrating? We are celebrating life. If you have air in your lungs right now, you should be celebrating because you made it another week on the planet, and guess what? Millions of people didn't. So cheers to you and to me and the oxygen we still have in our lungs. Cheers. Oh, this ginger ale is good. All right, guys. So welcome. Let's take care of a little business. It is Friday night. You know how I do. I like hanging and chilling, even though I do have a couple subjects that I want to tackle, okay? Let's take care of a little business first. I am Jen of On the Block with Jen. Welcome, new subbies. Welcome, old subbies. Welcome, stalkers, lurkers, haters, lovers. Hi, how are you? Happy Friday. You can reach me at ontheblock.with.jen@gmail.com. That is not a dating app. That is where you contact me if you want to tell me something you don't want anybody else to know. If you want me to dissect the topic that you think I'd be able to dissect like no one else does, send it to ontheblock.with.jen@gmail.com. Also, if you want to contact me for a collab, send it to ontheblock.with.jen@gmail.com. I love a good collab. You don't have to have 1 million followers. You just got to be dope, right? You can be dope with 2 subscribers if you're just getting started, right? We all started somewhere. So Instagram, On the Block with Jen, TikTok, On the Block with Jen, Gmail, On the Block with Jen, Cash App, you see it scrolling right here on the bottom. If you want to support the show, hit me on the Cash App. If you are catching this on a replay, hit me on the Cash App. Cash App is open 24 hours a day. Or throw something in the super chat for me. Muchas gracias. Mama has to keep the light on just like any other church, okay? So welcome, you guys. Tonight's subject. I'm not going to keep these gloves on all night, okay? Because I got to maneuver. I just wanted to give y'all a little treat and show you I am the girl in that thumbnail. That is me, okay? It is not Photoshop. That is me. That's the real me, okay? My girls are trying to come out here. But yeah, that's me on the flyer. See? Same girl. Isn't it lovely? Yes, it is. Okay. So because these aren't touch gloves, I don't have like the magic fingers where I can still maneuver and touch everything. I have to take them off, so take a picture. Okay, now I got to take them off, okay? If you didn't get it, rewind. All right, guys. So tonight, I want to talk about something that has been on my mind. Oh, I should do this more sexy. Right? I want to talk about something that's been on my mind. You know how I feel about relationships and marriage and blah, blah, blah. I think very, very few people in our human population are built for that type of shit, right? I'll keep one on just to be cute. Very few people are built for that type of shit. And I noticed that there's a pattern online where they're talking about women like we're a monolith, right? And I think that's why men lose a lot when it comes to matters of the heart and relationships. And I'm going to explain all of this shit. You guys know I'm here to help, but you know, sometimes you're not going to like how the help sounds. And that's okay because you guys like the truth. That's what I heard, that on YouTube, people like the truth, right? And I told you guys before, we all got some truth, right? So, you know, men lose thinking women are a monolith. You guys do lose thinking we're a monolith, and you're being conditioned to think we're a monolith with, you know, the infamous Kevin Samuels and then all the manosphere and red pill guys. They talk about women, right? Like they're a monolith. And then you go out there because you watch so much of this content. You go out in the world thinking, I give a fuck about what that other woman gives a fuck about. And then you come at me the way you think she wants you to go with her, or how the red pill, the manosphere, or the Kevin Samuels told you to go with her, right? We are not a monolith. We are superly duperty different. Now, do we all have vagina and boobs and mood swings and periods? And, can we all carry children? And, do we get moody and not know where we want to eat half the time? Yes, 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 right? But we're a lot deeper than that. And you guys keep fucking losing because you think all women are like what you keep hearing on these fucking fake coach channels and these guys who, fail at relationships, these guys who are not married, and they're just pretty much using you, right, to help their channels grow. And because you're coming in with trauma, you think that it's helping, and it's really, really not. So my advice to you guys is watch a little bit, you know what I mean? Take it as entertainment, apply it to your life, but don't apply it to every woman you meet. Big mistake, because women are not a monolith. Tristan! What's up? Burned out. What's up? Ortiz Music. Thank you, Ortiz Music. He said, girl got them Marilyn Monroe Madonna gloves on. Somebody knows. Maine talk about dishwashing gloves. I'm like, you can't wash dishes in this. I mean, I guess you can. So I'm gonna drop the link early, okay? Because I like when you guys come up early lately. Usually I take forever to drop it, but I'm gonna drop it early tonight because I like when you guys come up and challenge me. Yes, I do. I do. Let's see, I got this. Okay. So I dropped the link. And I have a video for you guys to watch, which is what really prompted me to do this show. I was like, okay, after I saw this video, I was like, okay, I definitely have to do this show. I have to do this show because I saw after this woman did this video on TikTok and it kind of sort of went viral. I think viral is actually everybody knows about it, but I'm sure I'm going to play this video for you. And some of you haven't even seen it. So I don't really consider that viral, even though she said, oh, I went viral. I didn't know I was going to go viral. If you're in TikTok land, on Planet TikTok, you've probably seen it. If you're not, you probably haven't seen it. But I thought it was very, very interesting what she said, but even more so interesting, the response that she got from a lot of content creators. And, now it's to the point where all these content creators are so fucking predictable. They're just regurgitating the same thing over and over again to men. Women have jumped on it. Women are not fighting guys anymore. They realize if they pander and cater to men, right, they can make money here too. A couple people sent me some videos of some women that pander to men, like, yeah, women ain't this and women ain't that. And all they do is repeat the talking points in the manosphere and the red pill space. And then you get, they get you guys to view their channels, and support them because they're just repeating what you're saying, but they do it in a woman's voice. So you guys feel like, look, she gets it. I've seen guys call women like this the Messiah, gods, and, because they're just repeating your talking points. But if you guys are really smart, you would know women don't think like men and men don't think like women. But if I'm going to pander to you, then I'm going to tell you you've never done anything wrong and women are witches from hell and they're bitches and they don't know what they want. And you guys are the best and the creme de la creme. And, it's not your fault that you got divorced, right? I'm going to blow that smoke up your ass. But here's the problem. The divorce rate is not going to change. And neither is women filing for divorce, right? Women file for divorce 75-80% of the time. So what you should be doing is working on being someone that someone wants to live with and be with and is going to be even entertained by, is going to be a good provider, protector, and look good. That's really what you guys should be concentrating on. But what you do is you concentrate on, why they didn't want you, right? And that's a bad way to go. You cannot concentrate on why someone didn't want you. What you have to do is be your best self. Okay, be your best self. And then whoever matches that is going to want you. But you guys are, filled to the brim talking about women that didn't fucking want you. It's like a constant conditioning. And now these bitches are on YouTube telling you the same thing. Because why? Because they want that crowd. They want that manosphere crowd. They want that red pill crowd. They want that Kevin Samuels crowd. Because you guys are very, very loyal. You view a lot of the content, okay? You argue a lot in the comments with women. And that's good for the red pill and the manosphere and bitches who are now jumping on the bandwagon, right? And I'm going to tell you how it is. That is what these women are doing now. With that said, if you want to be coddled and you want to hear from a woman's voice that you did nothing wrong and those women, all they want is money and they're just bitches from hell and you did everything right. And look, you come home from work and you're a good provider and all you do is watch your football and nobody should bother you and everybody should love you and you're the best thing ever, right? If you want to hear that because it just makes you feel really, really good, maybe it wets the tip of your dick, I don't fucking know, then continue on listening to these women and these men. Great, do it. If it works for you, if you like it, I fucking love it. I really am talking to the other men that find themselves hurt about past relationships and they kind of fall into watching these people. I have to let you know, these people do not have your best interest in heart or mind. Most of them are fucked up. They just realize, oh shit, I could hustle this on YouTube and make money. Okay, and that's what goes on here a lot. My advice will always be the best that you can be. Forget about the people that didn't fucking want you and do some inner work as to why, people don't want you or don't want you for long. I'm going back to not wanting you for long. Women file for 75-80% of the divorce. And what these fucking YouTubers do is say, look how evil women are, right? No one is giving you solutions. No one's telling you, look, motherfucker, after 2-3 years, nobody wants to live with you. It's intolerable. You're boring, or you're out of shape, or all you do is watch sports, or you used to be spontaneous. The sex used to be spontaneous. Now I'm fucking bored with you. No one is telling you that. What they're telling you is those evil women file for divorce 75-80% of the time. They're evil. What they're not telling you is make yourself appealing enough, entertaining enough, provider enough, good looking enough, so women do want to stay, right? You can't get mad at women for feeling unhappy first and filing for divorce first, because that's really all it is. You know how we are. Our feelings come out of our pores. Men are brooding. Men, if you don't like what your woman looks like, you're just going to go fuck the secretary, but you're not getting divorced. So, in that way, men and women are fucking different. Women feel unhappy and they're like, I'm out of here. Goodbye. Take these divorce papers. Arrivederci. Ciao. Te veo mañana. Where men, they could be very unhappy in a marriage, but they're going to fucking stick it out because the mortgage is tied together and the car payments and these fucking kids we got to raise. And, I can't possibly leave now. Our money's tied up, or we're in the same business together. Where women say, fuck you, I'm out. But men stay. Men stay miserable. Men stay brooding. Men stay resentful because they know all they do is, fuck the neighbor or fuck the secretary and then go back to their marriage. We see it happen over and over and over again, where men supplement their marriage with outside pussy. That's why they don't leave, because they know they can supplement their relationship and their marriage with outside pussy and come back. That is why we hear a lot, I wouldn't leave my wife. I love my wife. Hold on now. I wouldn't leave my wife. You don't fucking leave your wife because you're comfortable with that woman, right? You know what they say about the old broom. They know all the fucking corners. She knows what you like, how you like it, what you want to eat. If you want the corners cut off your fucking sandwich, if you take mustard instead of mayonnaise, right? She knows how you like your shirts pressed. And, she's organizing the children and the soccer practice and the laundry and how she does all that. So of course you don't want to fucking leave. Men are creatures of habit. They're very comfy, but they know they can just go out and fuck the neighbor or the sister or the cousin or the secretary and come right back home. Women are different. Women are like, you no longer make me happy. You no longer make me wet. We used to have more money in the beginning. Now we got these dang kids. Now we don't have extra money for vacations. Goodbye. I'm out, right? And women file for 75-80% of the divorce, right? We are not a monolith, however, and that is the main topic of tonight. Men lose thinking women are a monolith. We are not a monolith. I stress that here over and over and over to you guys. We are not a monolith. Whether you like it or not, whether Kevin Samuels told you or not, whether the red pill is telling you or not, whether the manosphere is telling you or not all women want a fucking ring. And you don't have to listen to me. Listen to the statistics. After women get a ring in a couple years, they are filing to get the fuck away from you. Don't listen to me. All right? Don't say, oh, Jen, you just talking shit. Look at the statistics. Before I woke up this morning, before you woke up this morning, those statistics were in fucking existence. Women file for 75-80% of the divorce, and I'm sure it's on the fucking rise. What does that mean? That you gave her the ring that you thought she wanted, right? You gave her that ring because that's what women want from when they're little girls. And then she said, I don't want you. I don't want the fucking ring. Goodbye. That is what women do 80% of the time. And it's because you go into relationships thinking women are a monolith. All women want a ring. All women want a husband. Oh, no, a lot of women want to be married, but they don't want a husband. Right? And after they get married, reality hits. And it's like, oh, there's a whole fucking husband attached to this ring. I didn't really want the whole boring husband sits around watching sports. Like, I just wanted to tell my girlfriends I was fucking married. Like, gotta take care of this motherfucker now. That is usually what happens because one, you go into relationships and marriages looking for a mommy. Okay, you want your wife or girlfriend to do everything that your mommy did, and you're a big boy now. That's not what fucking works. Okay. Two, half the women out here don't want fucking rings. They just want to be married. But in your mind, you're thinking, well, they grew up on those fairy tales and I got to marry her. And, that's going to be the best thing for this situation for me to marry her. No, women are not there anymore. Again, I stress, women are not a monolith. There are many of us out here who don't give a fuck about a ring. There are many of us out here who want to, invest in their careers before they settle down and have children. There are many out here that want to get married. The problem is, even the ones that want to get married want to get divorced. How many times, class? 75, 80% of the time. Even the women that you insult to no end. Yeah, you ain't married yet. Yeah, you ain't married yet. 75 to 80% of the time, even those women who want to get married don't fucking want you after a couple years. But what you do is you let the red pill and the manosphere and the Kevin Samuels and everybody's blowing smoke up your ass. How these women want to get married. And if they're not married, something is wrong with them. Let's get them. After the age of 35, they don't hit the wall, right? And you go out in the world with these fucking dull tools, right? It's one thing if these fake ass coaches gave you sharp tools. You got, everybody got a tool shed. Here you go. I'm going to give you a shovel and a saw and a drill. These motherfuckers give you a drill with no bits, okay? They give you a saw that it's rusty, hasn't been used in fucking decades. They give you a shovel with a fucking faulty wooden handle where you put it down in the dirt, the shit breaks apart, right? They're giving you no fucking tools. So you're going out in the world thinking, yeah, I got these tools. Women want to get married. They're bitter. They hit a wall after 35. I'll show them, right? And then you go out there and you have no fucking tools to navigate your dating pool. You don't know what your fucking dating pool is, okay? Sometimes you're in the dating pool that you don't even fucking match in. And when none of the women want you in that pool, then you got more stuff to get mad at and talk about on the red pill and manosphere, right? Because they're giving you dull tools and they keep pulling you in with these conversations because all they need is for you to be in their chat, okay? All they need is for you to be in their mentions or viewing their fucking videos. That is why they do it. And you go out in the world like little children who still think women give a fuck about your insults, about your assumptions, about your catchy phrases. You hit the wall. That's why you ain't married. That's why you fat. That's why you ugly. Don't nobody want, oh, you got a college degree? Don't nobody care about your college degree? Again, they're giving you dull tools, okay? When you come across a woman who's worked her whole life to get a fucking college degree, she's not going to give a fuck what Kevin Samuels told you about a college degree. Do you understand? They're giving you dull tools. If you come across a woman who's over the age of 35 and still looks good and don't give a fuck about a wedding ring, no matter how many times you tell her, you hit the wall, you ain't married, she's not going to give a fuck. Women aren't back in the 50s anymore. It's over. It's over. And that's what these motherfucking channels are not telling you. It is over. That book they give you, it's not circulating anymore. They don't even print that book anymore. Okay? As a matter of fact, it was recalled. 75, 80% of the time, I'm going to keep saying it, women file for divorce to get the fuck away from y'all. I'm not making these numbers up. I'm not making them up. And these coaches And these YouTube channels are sending you out there even worse than you fucking began. Even worse. Because now you're bitter and you feel like you have a reason to be bitter. Women are not a monolith at all. Beyond sometimes we don't know what we want to eat. We are not a fucking monolith. And these people keep feeding you this vomit about every woman you meet is thinking the same thing, to the point where I'll use myself as an example, to the point where I'll get into an argument with a guy and I'll just be talking. It could be something regular, right? Something completely regular. We could be talking about, oh, well, Trump versus Biden. Yeah, that's why you ain't married. Nobody wanted you. What the fuck, man? Where did that come from? What the fuck? First of all, you don't know if I'm gay, straight. You don't know if I have a vagina. You don't know if I'm transgender, still have a penis. You have no fucking idea. But because they told you in the Manosphere and in the Red Pill, and Kevin Samuels told you if it has a vagina, it wants to get married, you're going out in the world making a bigger ass of yourself than the life has made you feel like an ass. A big ass. You don't know who you're talking to on the other end. If you're really interested in dating women, you have to research that particular woman. But then there's the inner work, that word you guys like, some accountability, right? And I'm gonna let my guess up. Accountability is not a fucking group sport. When that happened, I don't know. We gotta hold these women accountable. No one's holding them accountable. You fucking idiot. Accountability is like self-esteem. It is looking into yourself as to what you're doing. It is not a group sport. It is not a group let's hold all these women accountable. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? You don't hold anyone the fuck accountable but yourself. You can't hold anyone accountable but yourself, but you keep throwing this word around. No one's holding them accountable. You guys love that fucking word. You have to be accountable for your fucking self. I have to be accountable for myself. Everybody has to be accountable for themselves. It's not a group trip. With that said, I want to show you guys the video. I'm gonna let it. Oh my God, my baby, Annalicia.
Hello, Jen. How are you?
Hi, Mama. I haven't seen you so long. Listen, so many people ask me about you.
I miss you. I miss you guys so much.
I miss you too. So many people ask me about you. They was like, whatever happened to Annalicia? I'm like, she's good. I see her every now and then on the socials. I see her. She's good.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be around more. I'm busy with work, busy with real life. Yes. But I'm trying to do the YouTube thing more.
Okay, good. I know you were working on a show, right?
Yeah, and that it's so time consuming. Like it's time consuming. Assuming I'm like hemorrhaging money. Like, oh God. And also, I sometimes I just get lazy and I don't even want to, like, I pick it up and then I drop it but I'm here. And I love this topic today. Love it.
Yes, we needed this topic. Oh, yes, we got some gentlemen in the back. We got Dame and Glenn Lawrence. How are you?
Well, good.
What's going on?
Let me tell you, my panel be like the best looking panel on. I don't know. I don't know. Let me toot my own horn here. My panels be the bomb diggity, okay? They be the bomb diggity. I do some YouTube channel surfing, and I'm like, oh. My channel be popping. You see, everybody's talking about you, Annalicia. They love you. They're in the comments. Like,
listen, Jen, they're gonna like me until I start talking. You know how it is.
I'm the same way.
No, if they don't, they'll like you more than like me. That's just a given.
That's true.
A given. So I piss everybody off.
I don't know about that, but with that being said, listen.
Yes. Let's get into this, and then I'll play the video because I want you guys to see what made me bring up this topic. So you guys let me know about the little rant or what's on your mind already, and then I will roll the video.
So this is what's on my mind. What's on my mind is, I think in the contemporary dating world, I guess they would say dating and mating, I think men overvalue themselves. And that's a problem. They overvalue themselves and they overvalue their what they perceive women like their women desiring marriage, but they're overvaluing it. So here's what the studies say. The studies say that men do better in marriages and relationships and women do better out of them. The studies say that men have better quality of life, especially emotionally, when they are partnered and or married. The studies say when men are not married or in relationships or partnered in a meaningful way, they have the highest depths of despair of any group. So what that tells me is men are definitely overvaluing themselves in the dating game. They don't really know what their place is anymore because women have adapted and evolved and were able to compete economically, academically, socially. So they're kind of being left behind, and they no longer know what their position is, what their place is. And as a result, they're feeling a little bit empty. They're feeling a little bit obsolete, which it's like, yeah, I get that. But I'm not saying that I disagree with marriage as a union or an institution because with my background, like academically speaking, I understand the benefits. I get that. But I also know that women specifically are happier when they are not in relationships. It's men who do better. It's men who are happier. Men report higher satisfaction, relationship satisfaction, life satisfaction. So that tells me that men have an operative. Like now we can understand the okey doke. Men are pushing this because they're projecting it because they know that they really do need it in a lot of ways to survive. Survival is not just about paying your bills, staying out of trouble. Surviving is also about connecting with other people. You need to feel and be connected with someone in order to feel like you are a part of this world and everybody in it. That's just a fact. That's the way it works. We are social creatures. Our brains are wired and connected for socializing and connecting and loving. That's the way it works. So men, you guys are behind. You need to evolve and figure it out. Not every woman wants to be married, especially when you try to weaponize it. Now it's just a joke. So now you're weaponizing marriage, but the joke's on you, because if we don't marry you, your chances of dying from alcohol poisoning, deaths of despair, suicide, yeah, that just goes up. So yeah, catch up, tomatoes.
So I want to say, I do, like you said, I do believe in marriage. I just think that I say it all the time, very, very few people want to do it and can do it. Just because you got married doesn't mean you really wanted to do it. A lot of people are doing it for religious purposes or financial reasons, or I want to have a baby and it's best to have two parents in the home, or my biological clock is ticking. None of that is really a reason to get married, to lock down with someone for the rest of your life. Hence the divorce rate, right? Hence women filing first. I think marriages are good for the people that really want to do it and know how to do it and understand it's two people evolving constantly. And I don't think the majority of human beings are built to have another human being in their life that's constantly evolving while they're evolving and then sail off into the sunset. And we're seeing this over and over and over again. It's like a fucking form of insanity. You keep getting married and keep getting divorced. You keep getting married and keep getting divorced. And it's growing and growing and growing. So, the threats and the little phrases, you hit a wall, it's over after you're 35, or nobody married you, or you want a ring, or you're a single mother. Like, that's not working anymore. And I keep stressing that to these idiots. They're just telling you that so you can stay on their channel, but that's not working anymore. Women are to the point now where they're doing slut walks and hoe walks, and I'm a bitch, and no one cares about the words anymore. Nobody cares about the insults anymore. Nobody fucking cares. It's literally like a dog barking at the moon. We don't care. The women have evolved. We're up, we're gone. We're like, oh, we don't really need men. This is kind of cool, right? And that is what's happening. But I will pass the mic. Welcome, Dame and Glenn Lawrence, two of our favorites on the block with Jen. Who would like to go first?
Go ahead, man.
Okay. Hey, Dame. Can't hear you. Can't
Can you hear
hear
me?
you. Yep. Now.
All right. Can we just like rewind the tape a little bit and unpack something that Annalisa is your name?
Yes.
Okay. She said that men are overvaluing themselves in the dating pool.
Mhm.
I don't know, push back on that one because I think historically men have known their value because it's been reiterated to them consistently on a constant basis when they're dating. If you listen to statistics from dating apps, women only swipe on 20 swipe. I've never been on a date, but not so I don't know if it's swipe right or left, whatever the positive one is. Swipe right, I guess, only on 20% of all the men that are out there. Any man that's considered under 6 foot tall gets swiped. I think it was like 8% of the time a man under 6 foot tall gets swiped to the right, to the positive. So we're constantly reminded of our value in the dating market. I don't think there's ever a situation where a guy is like, I'm 5'7", 220 pounds. I'm the shit. Everyone knows me.
Sorry, what's his
It's
name?
gonna be easy. Can I just go without
No, I
getting
know. I just want to know who I'm addressing. What's your name?
My name is Damien.
Damien. Okay.
So yeah, I think it's constantly reified on a constant basis that we are the position that we're in when it comes to our value in the dating market. I don't think nobody under this. Don't get me wrong. There are some guys out there who are delusional, who think because they have a little bit of money that they puts them a step above the other guys, which in some cases it do, but in most cases it just kind of evens the playing field. Yeah, that's my point on that one aspect of what you were saying about guys over valuing themselves. I just don't see it as a thing, and nobody I know sees it as a thing that, hey, because I say there's not guys out there, I don't really believe, saying because I say I'm a 10, I'm a 10, because society and especially women will let you know you are not that 10 very quickly. Women like Jen and yourself will let them know probably you're not that guy.
Oh, so, yeah, I would.
Yeah, exactly. But so and I think just to kind of put the counterpoint on that, I think, and I've said this before on your show, Jen, is that I think what's happening is a lot of times, and this is not, I hold both people accountable. Don't get me wrong. Jen will let you know I'm not one of those women against men kind of guys. I'm not red pill, blue pill. I'm whatever. I'm a Sigma. I don't buy any of that bullshit. Is that I think what it is because women have a tendency to kind of want to be nurturing and take care of somebody, people's feelings. A lot of time they won't kind of keep it funky with their female friends. They'll like say like, and I know I've said this before, but I know other people have said this before, but it's just a solid point, is that if a guy is 300 pounds and he's wearing skinny jeans and he's wearing a tight shirt, his male friends will say, you look like a fat fuck, you look like a sausage, take that shit off, you embarrassing us. Women will not necessarily say that. They'll say, oh my God, love your curves, embrace yourself, you body positivity and all this kind of stuff that gives women a false sense of what their actual value is in a dating market. A lot of times these women think, okay, I'm just doing this because it's just easy to kind of put it in perspective. If I do a rating scale, if I say, okay, if a woman is marketplace 5 and the women, you look great, you look amazing, you this, you that, love your curves. A lot of times they'll think, well, I deserve that guy that's a 7, or I deserve that guy that's 8. I can get that because my friends and society have told me that I should be able to get that level and I should never settle. And a lot of times they do that and then they end up not in satisfying relationships and they end up calling a Kevin Samuels to be like, what's wrong with y'all and stuff like that. So that's just my point on it. And I know that was long-winded, but
It's
just feel
okay.
like-
This conversation is gonna get. I'm sure it's gonna get real sticky. I would like to have the conversation, if possible, without the number scale. I think it's the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard. When we start doing, well, you're 5 and maybe you want a 7, or because it's so. I mean, I've seen big girls with wedding dresses on. I've seen ugly, short, fat guys with women that look like me. Like, I don't like the number thing at all. To me, it doesn't even make sense to me. I know it's very, very
It's just the
popular.
easiest thing to kind of quantify attraction.
The number
hold
system.
on.
Hold
on. The problem is there's no objectivity to placing a number, like any numerical value on a human. There's no objectivity. That's the first thing. Here's the second thing I'm going to push back on. First of all, I'm going to talk about the Black community because that's where I'm plugged in. Everybody who knows me, that's what they know about me. What I'm going to say is, while you might think that men know, you might think that they know their place, their position, what their value is, how good they look. Studies say otherwise. And if that were the case, there would be no such thing as the Black manosphere. There would literally be no such thing as these dating coaches telling these men, no, you're the prize. No, don't bring her out on a date. Devalue these women, debase these women. So yeah, no, I'm going to disagree. Black men especially overvalue themselves in the dating world. And overvalue themselves as a general matter. The second thing that I'm going to say is, when it comes to, I believe you said like women who are a 5. I'm only saying this because you said it as a point of reference, think that they can get a 7. This is ridiculous, but whatever. The studies also don't bear that out. What the studies say is that Black women specifically date down, chronically date down. They date down socioeconomically, they date down educationally and academically. So let's put that to one side. And if you're going to talk about other groups of women, okay, that's a different story. We can talk about that. But when it comes to Black women specifically, they date down. So Black women, the problem I would say is reverse. Black women undervalue themselves, whereas Black men overvalue themselves. That's what the studies and every piece of data reflects. And also, if you look in the real world and you look at all these, like the fresh and the fresh and the ugly one, and all of these dating coaches, that's the real world. Men think that they're a prize, and if you think that, you're truly overvaluing yourself as a human being. You're a prize to who? Wait, what? Like what? You wouldn't be here unless you passed through a womb. You're not a prize, sir.
I just want to say something.
I'll push back on that.
Is those guys are, that's not the real world. That is a grift. Those are people who are charlatans taking advantage of people who have issues with attracting and maintaining relationships. Those are snake oil salesmen are not reality. They are a blip in time. They come every so often and say, this is what you need to do to be successful, and I'm going to monetize that I'm going to monetize that.
How many subscribers do these charlatans have?
There's a lot of guys.
I understand what you're saying.
There's a lot of guys out there who have trouble getting women, so it makes it easy for them to.
Two things can be true.
Create a space.
They can be charlatans, but they can have 1 million subscribers who adhere to the advice that they're given, and in turn overvalue themselves in the dating market. So yeah, 2 things. I agree with you. They're charlatans, but they have subscribers, they have a following, they have an influence, and that's what matters. And that's why Black men specifically are overvaluing themselves.
So I think the problem with a lot of those channels is like, yeah, there's always, some cornball con men running them, but there are millions of men that actually feel like that and then start practicing it because the con man told them that they can. And the reason why I don't like the number scale is because it's something used to diminish women. It is very specifically cookie cut for women. What do you rate yourself? And you can't use 7. Right? That's always been weaponized against women. I don't believe that guys don't think that, just because they don't use the number scale does not mean that they don't go out in the world completely delusional of who they can date. I can show you my DMs. I can show you when I walk down the street, like the worst of the worst thinks that they have a chance. no matter where they work or what
They
they
don't think
look
they have a chance. They're just hoping to catch you on a bad day
No,
where
they
you broke up
do,
with
and
your
they
man.
do.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Jen,
Jen, you know what, Jen, and this is interesting. We're saying this as women, and because we deal with these males all the time.
okay.
But the problem is, the reason that they think they have a chance is because they're entitled, and that entitlement comes from these channels. First of all, it comes from subscribing to the notion that you're a prize, subscribing to the notion that that women should be chasing you, subscribe to the notion that like the pickup artist nonsense. That's the problem. Black men specifically are one of the most entitled groups of men when it comes to dating. They overvalue themselves. They undervalue the women and everything else, and it's a problem. And if you look at what's going on in the dating world, it reflects that their relationships fail at the highest degree, at the highest level. Black men's relationships fail, and that has to tell you that maybe you're not the prize. Like, maybe you are a little bit entitled, and you need to work on your soft skills. You need to work on your empathy. You need to work on your communication. You need to work on yourself and stop subscribing to a fraud and a fresh or whatever the hell their names are, because you're not the prize. Like, you're not all that, sir.
Let me chime in here,
Yeah, go ahead. I want to pass the mic to you, Glenn.
because I'm probably one of the only guys on here that runs a channel that we talk about these exact issues to men. And we had Jen on the show, and I think she had a different idea of what we do compared to like Fresh and Fit. And I know those guys, I have my own thoughts about them, and I don't say anything negative on streams just because I don't need to give other people attention about it. But see, there's a few things I want to unpack here. You mentioned something earlier about men feeling entitled. You also mentioned something about you're right about a few things. Men don't have a place anymore in society. The modern man does not have a place anymore in society because women could get their own. Women don't need men in order to survive anymore. Women can survive on their own. They're very self-sustained nowadays. There's nothing wrong with that. Before, when women were relying on men for their everyday needs, men had a more higher up power, right? So nowadays, women, if they want to get with a man, it's not because they need a man, it's because they want that man. And that's a different criteria for men to now have to adapt to when it comes to the dating market. It's not that, oh, I could lead with my bag because she needs me. It says, does she want you? And see, I'm in the space of helping guys be wanted, not needed. Okay. And we tell guys all the time, like, look, you cannot be the prize until you are the prize, until you level up, until you get to the position where she wants to spend her time with you more than she wants to spend her time elsewhere. That's when you know you're the prize in her eyes. You are the prize in her eyes by the way she treats you. That's how you know you're the prize. If she chooses to live in your frame, if she's submissive to you, if she chooses to be this way towards you, that's how you know that you are the prize in her eyes. You can't be the prize in every girl's eyes. I was just in Vegas. I was walking down the street. I didn't think I'm the prize in every broad's eyes. Like, no, I'm doing my thing. I'm having a good time with my buddies. Nobody thought that we were the prize just because we exist. You're only the prize in your partner's eyes if you have proved to them that you are a prize worthy, that you are worthy to be had. And when women feel that way, that you are a prize, because they will start, mate guarding you. One thing, they get really territorial because they want to keep you. They don't want you to see other women or be interested in other women because that's competition. So they don't want to deal with that competition. So there's some insecurity that comes up. Those are good instincts to show that in her eyes, you are the prize. Now, the other thing you mentioned about like the space is that like the space is all about, pushing women down. No. And I think if there's any group of people that feel entitled, it is women. And as Damien mentioned earlier, you guys know what the 80-20 rule is?
Yes.
Okay, that 20% of women or 100% of women want the top 20% of men. That means 80% of those guys are not on the level of these women. That means a woman could be morbidly obese, but she thinks that she deserves somebody that looks like, Jason Momoa. And
Where
she
did that
won't say,
come from? Is that an actual statistic where
yeah,
women want
yes.
this?
There's actual statistics. And I was going to ask, was it Annalisa? Annalicia, I was going to ask you for your statistics and your quotes because I have tons of them too. I could put out that actually most modern men over 40 who are single have a more of a enjoyable life than women at 40. And there was a mention of the wall. I think Jen, you mentioned it. Do you know what the wall means? Like, do you know what the wall means? Like in reality of it, not just what
I like to talk about things the way they're used.
okay.
So what
Well,
it means doesn't matter. I'm
okay.
talking about how it's
Well,
used.
that's what I'm saying. Because whoever's using it incorrectly, give me the opportunity to correct it. So the wall simply means
In England, it doesn't matter what the real meaning is if millions of men online are weaponizing it against women. It doesn't, like I told you before when I went on your show, you guys can be the good guys, but it doesn't eclipse the millions of assholes that are using the phrase a certain way. When Kevin Samuel says after 35, you're left over, there was a sea of men, that started saying it. Fortunately,
because he misquoted Rollo Tomassi.
but there was a sea of men now using it. Over 35, you're left over. So it happened that fast.
It was a misquote of what Rollo Tomassi said. Basically, what it means is that you can no longer compete with your younger self. So we all grow older, we all age out. You have the average woman that maybe was a size 2 when she was in her 20s, maybe a size 6 or 8 in her 30s and 40s. She can't compete with her younger version. That's the wall. It's not that she's competing with all these women.
Wait a minute. I'm confused by that because age out of what? At 25, at 25, I dated 20-something-year-olds. In my 30s, I dated 30-something-year-olds. In my 40s, I'm dating 40-something-year-olds. In my 50s, I'm going to do the same. In my 60s, I'm going to do the same. That's what I'm talking about. It's so fucking ridiculous, these notions. Age out of what? What did I age out of? Dating
first, you're talking about yourself, and we already discussed that you're an anomaly. Okay, we already had that discussion. But what it means by aging out is the guys that you used to attract at 25, you may not be able to attract at 35, and that's the company.
I hope I'm attracted.
No, it's not the guy, but the way the guy looked. The guy.
Why would we want? But why would we want that?
Nobody's saying that you want that. I'm saying
that is a moot point.
They date younger women.
Men date younger women. Women date older men. But the guy that that was attracted to you at 26 or 25 might not be attracted to you at 46.
Who cares?
Because he's looking. But that's what I'm just explaining what the wall means. When they say they hit the wall, means that you can't compete with the younger version of yourself. Just like I'm just clarifying what that means. So, because it gets so misconstrued and it's in a negative context, like, oh, she hit the wall. Well, everybody hits a wall. Okay?
I get it. You get it. But listen, but hold on, because we're talking about entitlement as it relates to dating and marriage. At least that was the context with which I was using it. I want to be very clear about something. When you're saying out of both populations, you think it's women who are entitled, let's be clear about this. And again, I do relegate my discussions and my interest to the Black community. So let's be clear about this. Black women specifically are, if anything, when it comes to dating and marriage and who they're marrying, are the least entitled. They are the only group of women who are dating and marrying down because these Black men are not as educated as them, and in most cases are not making as much money as them. So it's not entitled to want a man with the same level of education as you or higher, and it's not entitled to want a man to be able to provide, who has provisions and resources. That's socioeconomics. that has nothing to do with entitlement. When I talk about entitlement, I'm talking about these broke Black men who think that they could get a Jen or a me, who think that they could even look in my direction, and they don't even know how to string together a sentence with proper syntax and grammar. That's entitlement.
Well, let's ask Jen. Jen, can a broke Black man who has the body of Adonis and a face like Michael B. Jordan spend some time with you?
If I want to smash him,
That's a yes.
He's attractive. If he's attractive, yeah. But he
That's a yes.
He can't just be.
No, Jen. These are unattractive males, unintelligent, uneducated.
I know what you were talking about, Anna.
Don't know how to. That's what I'm saying. Don't know how to articulate themselves, but yet they think that they can get any woman that they want, and yet they think that they're a prize. That is entitlement.
We get the same thing. Women that are overweight, that have 4 kids, they think that they could get a guy like Michael B. Jordan.
Right.
And that they should.
But thinking that and then taking some initiative to go after it are 2 different things. You see these Black men, especially in these online spaces, they take initiative. They actually will try to go out in the world and implement some of the foolery that they're learning from these morons. Women, generally speaking, are more realistic when it comes to who they mate and who they date and who they marry.
No, that's not.
That's not.
Can I jump in here?
Wait a minute. Women in general, Black women specifically, they're dating down. I don't care if a big teen comes along and says, "Ooh, I like Michael B. Jordan. I want Michael B. Jordan." That's fine. Women can say, "I want a man who's 6'3" and has a schlong like a donkey," all they want. But what are they actually doing? What are they actually doing? What do the statistics bear out? The statistics reflect that they are dating and mating beneath them, because the pool that they're dating from, hold on, the pool that they're dating from isn't doing well. That's the reality.
I just need to know where you're getting your statistics from, because I could pull up statistics.
The Brookings Institute.
Because I could pull up statistics right now.
Stanford University, they have a lot of.
I need articles because I like the fact check.
Right, I'm not here to do your homework. Like you can.
It's not homework. It's just you're gonna state something. If you're gonna say something as a fact, if you're gonna state something,
Glenn, just do what I do. When I hear a statistic, I want to find out. That's what this is.
But I'm saying there's statistics that disprove that. That's where the whole 80-20 rule comes from, that 20% of men are what women want and go after. And that's why men under 30 right now are 1/3 of men under 30 are sexless, because they're not getting the attention from women. So women are not necessarily dating
because they don't deserve it. They're bums.
Okay, but you just proved my point that if men are not getting sex, they're sexless under 30. Then how is it that women are dating down? If women were dating down, then there wouldn't be 1/3 of men sexless and virgins.
Right, but first of all, you're saying 1/3. I'm talking about the Black community. I'm talking about the Black people are what, 13%, 12% of the overall population. I'm not talking about every single man on the planet. I don't care about every man. I'm talking about men and women in the Black community. And when Black women just get married and they do date, statistically speaking, educationally speaking, and economically speaking, they are marrying and dating down, because majority of Black men, to the most unfortunate, are not getting their education, and more or less they're bums.
I have to agree with that. Glenn, you have to understand that it's like there's this general statistic, right? And then there's the Black community, right? And I've always, I've dated within that pool, and I have dated down more than I've dated up. Like I got sick of dating down, and I was like, I qualify to get different type, the high value guy. I'm not doing this anymore. But the majority of those guys, I did date down, and date down horribly. I'm not talking about, oh, this guy has a regular job. I'm talking about had nothing. Okay, no car, no home, no job, no income, no this.
Can I ask both of you ladies a question? And it's just a question, and then I'll shut up and let the other cats jump up here. It's like, if these women are dating down, is it possible that they are going after the men that they probably couldn't have got had they not been in a different position when they were in their 20s? They're going after people who physically society may say is more attractive to them or out of their league. They're saying, I have resources now. You have nothing, but you're attractive. You have
No.
abs. You have a six pack. I'm going
No.
to date you because now I'm in a position to provide something you might find attractive and be able to take advantage of. Are they dating? Is that the possible? Because men do it all the time.
No.
Has
No.
the roles been reversed to where men is like,
That
I'm fat and ugly,
that
I got money, I can date this supermodel or this Victoria's Secret model? Historically, are women going, you know what, I'm gonna date this dude because he looks good? And I've seen that a lot. I've seen a lot of well-educated, successful women dating dudes who didn't do anything, who didn't have a lot, because the dude was good looking as hell. And he was down and she was down. And you go to Atlanta, you're gonna see a whole lot of that.
The answer to your question is no. Black women are dating down because Black men are not as educated as them, and in a lot of cases don't make as much money as them.
Are they demanding that, or are they willing to accept what looks good to them at that point? Because they have the ability to be discerning and say, I want the hot guy. I didn't have the hot guy in school. I wasn't the most attractive woman. I didn't have access to the hot guy. In my current position now, I have access to the hot guy.
Are you not understanding? No, sir, that's not the problem. Black women are attracted to all types of Black men, but at the end of the day, marriage is an economic proposition, and these women and their dating strategy is terrible. I don't care how good a man looks. If he's a bum, he is a bum, and I'm telling you that is.
I can tell from your picture you're an attractive woman, and you have the ability to be a lot more discerning than some women have. You probably been able to get attractive men the majority of your life, but some women who have it kind of want to. They may.
I personally know Black women who are just. I know Black women who are just as attractive as me. They are beautiful. They are intelligent.
And they
are intellectually inclined. They are hard workers. And unfortunately, they can't find that in their Black male counterparts. That is the problem.
They're dating bums
from a pool of bums. And if you know anything about the way that what's that word? Not statistics, probability. If there are a lot of bums concentrated in an area and you go out looking for, you're going to get a bum. That's the way probability
works. If you hang out in bum spots, you'll get a bum.
Right. And unfortunately, globally, there are a lot of bum spots when it comes to Black men.
Yeah. I mean, you can go to a cigar bar in Atlanta. You can go to a cigar bar where I'm at, and there's not a lot of bums there. There's a lot of like well-educated guys there who are doing good things. I mean, if you put yourself in a situation, if you're at the club and you're an educated Black woman, you might get a bum.
Right. But here's the difference between, and Ralph Richard Banks wrote a book about it, is Marriage for White People. Another Stanford professor, he did a really comprehensive and well-researched study about it, also from Stanford. And this is the difference between white women and Black women. And a lot of it has to do with the way that they're socialized and conditioned growing up in the Black community. White women go to college and they find their husband. That Black women go to college, and because they don't have the men to choose from, they end up graduating from college and they go back to the Black community, and they're left with the choices that they're left with. That is the difference. So when a white woman is marrying a man who is her counterpart, who in many respects is her academic, intellectual, and socioeconomic equal, they're able to climb the socioeconomic ladder. Whereas Black women are marrying down, rooting them, and it's more likely that they're going to be rooted to poverty and lower socioeconomic status, or strata, and a lower household income as a result. So yeah, it's definitely a dating strategy. It is not working for Black women, but I can assure you that the problem is not where these Black women are looking. They're not in the universities and the colleges. They're not in the corporate spaces and the corporate world, not to the extent that Black women are. So if you know anything about numbers matter. You need it in abundance. And Black men, which is the most unfortunate.
I believe there are more Black male executives in the United States than there are female female executives.
Let me pass the mic because I want everybody to speak so I can play this video and we could discuss this video. And the subject: men lose thinking women are monolith. I don't want to steer too far off. Brother Ish, I know you're pressed where you are, so please go ahead, take the mic, and then I'll give it to Haran and World Kings. You were saying?
I was saying that black men don't go to college. Like that's not a full representation
It's
of
two
the
to one.
sociological
It's two
condition.
to one. It's
I
it's
understand.
not to the
I
same
oh,
degree that black women do. It's 2 to 1, sir. So that means
fine.
Okay.
there's not enough.
So
And
let me
even when
say
they
this.
do go, they're not even graduating at the same degree, at the same rate that black women are. It's 2 to 1. That's a big difference.
Well, like I said, I don't have enough information to refute any statistics that are being quoted at this point. But I would like to say this: there is a dynamic that does exist in relationship to our social infrastructure that has a problem. Where the culture itself, all the way around in the African American community, primarily, or this Black community, as you know, for another term, has problems and has sociological problems. I believe that there are still a great variety and valuable assets of black men that exist that are educated, that are upwardly mobile, that are executives. Now, if that is the to, to bear the truth that okay, everyone has to marry down, that's not always the case. But I would also say this: I think that what we're looking at in a lot of occasions or circumstances is that we don't know how to choose partnership properly. We're looking at certain things that may not, you know, if you look at using a one anecdotal example that does not reflect the entire diaspora, but if you look at Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, he was not where he was. You know, she was above him in relationship to her social strata, but she saw value in the individual that he was, and that he looked like he had the, you know, a goal oriented and you know, but he had lofty dreams of being a quote unquote politician long before, you know, and that was like, that's not a stable job. Like, why are you going to do that? But ultimately, you know, he ended up being successful. So she looked at the character and the nature of the man versus just saying, okay, he's my peer or he's not my peer because I'm an executive here. And we know that in this society benefits and supports black women over black men on many occasions. So we know these are circumstances and conditions.
Sorry,
Now you
sir.
have to look at yourself to deal with,
Who's
not
talking,
you
Jen? What's his name?
personally.
Brother
This is
Ish.
brother Ish.
Brother,
I'm just saying,
how
hold on. Let me just close on this point, and then you can respond respectfully. We have to make a self analysis on how we're making our choices, and that way we can determine what the real problem is. That's what I think the issue is.
Brother Ish, you're saying we all know that black women are basically put at some kind of institutional advantage. I don't know that, so maybe you can help me understand, because everything that I know says no, that's absolutely false.
So
Well,
while you
I would say that one of the
let me
corporate
read this super
practices.
chat while you're thinking. Hold on. Thank you, Donovan, for the super chat. Donovan says maybe these women are thinking they are dating down because they are the ones overvaluing themselves. Like I said, I think they are tens when reality they are fives. No, I think it's clear when you're dating down. I was quite clear when I dated down. I don't think there's no um delusion about that.
If you have a degree and he has a high school GED or diploma, you're dating down, sir. It's that simple.
Whoa, whoa,
Like,
whoa. So it's just okay. Got it. Got
no,
it. So it's not
hold
financial.
on, hold on, hold on.
If you
It's
have a
not just
degree
that.
and
It's
you're
not
making
just that.
80,000 and he owns a landscaping business and he makes 150,000, you are dating down.
Yes, academically, yes, you absolutely are.
Okay.
You can redefine objective
But
definitions to words as much
do
as
you
you want.
really?
But
Do
I'm
you
waiting.
really think that?
Hold on. I'm waiting for Ish to tell me how black women have an advantage in society compared to black men. I'm waiting.
Okay, he's like traveling and stuff, so he dropped down. I'm sure he'll
Can I
come back
just
up, and we can
respond
pass
real
the
quick?
mic to. I want to pass the mic though, so everybody can get a shot. Haran, you were saying
Hey, how's everybody doing?
good.
Overall, this
Hi,
is.
Haran.
Hey, how you doing, Anna? Overall, this is really a math problem. You know, what I mean, that can't be solved because technically speaking, everyone is going to either date an average person or date down. If you know what I mean, especially if you're an exceptional person. Most people aren't exceptional. Most people settle with, you know what I mean, with whomever the fuck they get. at this particular age. You know what I mean? No, let's just call it what it is. You know what I mean? Most people aren't going to get, you know what I mean, their first choice, second choice, maybe not even eighth choice. They're going to get whatever they get, and they're going to live an average life, and it is what it is. Now, I think that okay, yes, the range of choices and educational spaces, it's not leveled in the for the benefit of black women. Okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean you cannot snag the gentleman that, you know what I mean, fits you if you put in the work. Now, I'm sorry if there isn't going to be a guarantee that everyone gets a lollipop. You know what I mean? That's just not how this works. You know what I mean? If you go there and you happen to be open to, you know what I mean, let's say, you know, in college spaces, you happen to be open to meeting someone and getting to know someone, you might stumble onto someone that is, yes, your intellectual equal, and yes, someone who you can see you could actually build a situation with. Yeah, you might, you know what I mean, find this person. The girlfriend might not. It's not really your problem. You know what I mean? You know, I think that there's just this utopian thinking when it comes to relationships, and it's skewing a lot of, you know what I mean, expectations. People need to manage their expectations, man. Everybody's not gonna get a lollipop. You're gonna get what the fuck you get. You know what I mean? And me personally, I am the prize. To me, you know what I mean. I don't put anyone above me. No one. You know what I mean? I have no problem walking out on anyone. You know, and that's how I move, that's how I behave, and so on and so forth. Now, you know, what I mean, with that said, you know, I understand the plight of certain situations and so on. But again, it's just, you know, some people are going to get shit and some people aren't. I think there's a problem here overall. There's a problem here with managed expectations. You mean to tell me that you couldn't find one solid dude in a college setting? You had to go back to the hood and get a nigga.
That's what Rihanna did.
That's not
You
what
know what I
I.
mean?
That's
I
not
mean,
what
just
I
you
said. That's not what I
know
said.
what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but I've seen it happen. You know, what I mean, I've seen a couple of, you know, black women, you know, what I mean, insinuate that. You know, it's just like I question it. I question how much work is actually put in on both, you know, what I mean, by both parties, because I've seen a lot of brothers gripe about they can't find a good woman, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. What are your expectations? What, you know, what I mean, how much work are you putting in? You know, what I mean, what do you, you know, what I mean, what are you actually, you know, what I mean, bringing to the situation yourself? And I'm just passing the mic on that right now.
Okay.
I agree.
World Kings, go ahead and say what you're thinking so I could run this video and we could talk about this video.
Okay, bet. How's everybody feeling?
Good.
What's up,
We
World
good.
King?
It's Friday night.
Yep, yep. I wanted to say this to what the original what you were saying at first was do men feel entitled or they think that they're more than what they are? And I believe that's absolutely false.
Well, you're a man.
Men,
That's what you're gonna think.
no, that's not what I'm gonna think. I'm gonna think it because it's right. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm right, not because I'm a man.
Okay.
No, absolutely not. Men in general and black men. I'm a black man. My mama's black, my daddy black. Black men, we know from men in general, men period, they know from a very young age what they're entitled to, what they're not. Because if you're out there in the dating field, you're going to come across this word we call, which is rejection. You will be rejected more than you're going to score. I hear people talking about probability and all this. You will be rejected more than you're going to score. We got to stop. And then another thing is we're basing a lot of this based off the internet. I said this on the last show I was on with you, Jen. We got to stay off the internet. We got to get outside. We cannot put so much value into what people say on the internet when this is just a mirage for the most part. A lot of these people don't even believe what they're saying. They'll tell you that I don't want a woman that's college educated. But you look at their daughters, you look at their sisters, you look at their aunties, you look at their moms. They're all college educated. So we cannot listen to these people that are on the internet saying all this stuff and then take what they say as if it's gospel. Men know from a very young age. We know what we can get. We know what we can't get. And if we don't know it, if we believe, now for the men that are entitled or they think that they're too much, when you go outside, you'll be humbled. So one way or another, you're going to learn. Now, if you're still thinking you're entitled, that's not called entitled. That's called delusion.
Oh yeah, black men are delusional.
And I'll leave it there.
Hold
Not
on.
this black man. I don't know the black man you're dealing with. I'm not delusional. I know.
I didn't say.
I know what I'm able to do.
In general, you don't have to cry.
I know what I'm doing. No, I'm not crying.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay. But like I said, you can say that, you know, men learn at a young age through rejection. We learn what we can and cannot get. That would apply if the rejection was truly teaching you something. A lot of men, specifically, when they are rejected, they externalize that rejection. It's not me. Nothing's wrong with me. It's the person. You get
rejected and you get rejected and you understand that everybody's not gonna rock with you.
Right.
Just because if this person doesn't like me, that doesn't mean that she doesn't like me. That's cool. I can move on to the next one.
I understand.
It's not externalizing nothing.
I understand that, sir. What I'm saying is black men have an external locus of control, meaning externally speaking, they feel things are responsible for what happens to them in life. Again, these things are like you have to. What does this
have to do with being entitled with women? I thought that's what we were talking about.
Let me finish. If you think that you are a prize and a king, and for the most part, we're sticking to the black community. Black boys are specifically raised to think that you are special, you are a prize, you are a king. They're socialized
by black women.
I'm going to agree with you, and that is the problem. It's a huge problem because they grow up and they think, okay, yeah, I'm a prize, but they don't really learn through experience that you're really not a prize. They continue with that socialization and that external locus of control because, again, their rejection didn't teach them what it should have taught them. Rejection taught them that no, it's you. You're the problem. You don't like me because something's wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with me. I look good. I look good. I'm a prize. I'm a king. Something's wrong with you for you to reject me. That is not how you don't.
That's not it.
That is a fact because that's what all these channels.
No, it's not.
Let me finish.
Yes, it is.
Again, you're basing off channels. This is the internet.
No, we're basing it off the millions of subscribers that they have.
Why? Let me respond to why. Can we stop saying that's them over there when that motherfucker Kevin Samuels had 1 million fucking subscribers? Can we be intellectually honest? Fucking admit that millions upon millions of men think this way, look this way, act this way, and follow the fucking charlatans and the con men because it is their reality. Can we stop making it sound like that's on YouTube? It's not real life. There are 1 million motherfuckers agreeing with one clown. That is real life. Because those million motherfuckers don't live on YouTube. They walk outside. They work with you. They live next door. They're at the Starbucks. They're at the Walmart. They're at the movie theater. Those people are real. They're not bots. Those are real human beings that go out in the world and say shit like this. Thank you, Atheist. You won the prize. I was waiting for this statement, and you win the prize for it. Women turn down good men for Pookie and Ray Ray, then complain.
Oh my God.
It is the same thing as men chasing hoes their whole life and then end up on a YouTube channel crying about what women aren't. Men do the same thing, sir. Men do the same thing. But we have to stop the fucking bull. Like, there's nothing more frustrating to me than, well, that's the guys that you know. Well, that ain't real life. It is fucking real life.
No, it's not. The internet is not real life.
Tell me what's
okay.
not.
Do you think? Hold on. Do you think these guys? Hold on. Wait. 1 second. 1 second.
Are delusional, Jen.
No,
they're delusional.
Are you gay, world kings? Because I'm a heterosexual woman and I know what the fuck men do.
No, I'm not gay. Is you gay? No.
No, we're straight, sir.
Men do. Don't tell me what men do when they see me. Do not tell, unless you're gay and you're checking for men, then don't tell me what men don't do. Because
I'm telling you, you didn't let me.
I'm gonna keep muting you until I finish. That's what's gonna happen here. You know, this ain't your first time here. You talk, I listen, I talk, you listen. It's very simple here. Stop telling women what they don't experience. We have been women since birth. We've been dating since our teen years. We've been dating in our environment, which is Black or brown. Do not tell me what men don't expect and what they don't think. I walk down the block, okay, and a motherfucker without a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of thinks that he can make me his baby's mother. That is the reality. The motherfuckers in these chat boxes and, oh, you wanted Pookie and Ray Ray. That's a real man. That is a real human being. That is not a bot. He really believes that women turn down good men and end up with Pookie and Ray Ray. That's a real statement. And it's been echoed over and over and over again. I was waiting for it. That's how predictable these conversations are. But do not sit here and tell us what we don't experience from men. If you are a heterosexual woman, you've experienced this over and over and over and over. That's like me telling you, you don't experience that with women. What women, you know, I ain't like that.
Here's a question though, but isn't there a statistic that proved that Pookie and Ray Ray has been a choice that women select?
Hold on. Listen, if we're going to talk about Pookie and Ray Ray, you Black men are not going to like it, first of all. But just to piggyback off of what Jen is saying, not only do you have the booty goons, obviously he's deceased from diabetes or whatever, but you have the booty goon, you have the fraud and the feminine, you have all of these quote dating gurus, relationship gurus, and then you have the blue pill. Okay, take the blue pill, take the red pill, take the black pill, take the pink pill. Like, yo, what? Like, this is what I'm saying. If you need, and these channels, these ideals, these theories, they have subscribers in the millions collectively. If you put all the nonsense together, all of the operant conditioning together, they have millions of subscribers. And who's subscribing? Who's subscribing? Is it a bot? Like, is it AI? No, these are young, Black, impressionable, stupid, fatherless men. That is who it is. There wouldn't be a market. There would not be a market if what we are saying is not true. So you could sit up there and talk about, oh no, we're not delusional. Oh, it's not real life. Yeah, but the marketplace says that it is.
They would have
the revenue says that it is.
All these wonderful Black men running around with degrees and money, and they always pick right. They would have 0 subscribers, yet they have subscribers in the millions who all repeat the same talking points.
I'm sorry to harbor this to like belabor this point. I just need to just clarify something. Like, so something that Anna said earlier about the fact that no matter how much a guy makes, if he's not as educated, they're dating beneath you. I'm paraphrasing. Is that
I said
kind of what you're kind of putting out there?
Educationally, you are dating down. Well, you're don't conflate.
Can I just get a yes so I can finish it?
No, because I know what you're doing. Don't conflate economics with academia and education. They're not the same thing. You're conflating them. What don't you understand?
Okay.
If I have a master's and you have a degree,
allow me to conflate for a minute.
No, conflate to yourself then.
Then you can let me conflate myself. Conflate myself. All right. All I'm saying is just like it just seems like historically, if you just ask some, not all, a lot of women, I've heard on words even came out of Jen's mouth, there's certain standard that they want a guy to meet. On average, they want him to be taller than them. Over 6 feet tall is usually average. On average, they want him to make above average money. 100,000, somewhere around that range seems to be the magic number. On average, there's certain things that need to happen. They need to be in decent shape, for example. So it just seems like if you say, okay, these are the things I want them financially stable. I want them self-actuated. I want them like a good, solid person who's going to be faithful and considerate and all these stuff, and look good naked. I mean, and if you say, oh, by the way, if you could be all these things, but in my mind, if you do not have the same level of education I have, you are still beneath me. which is astounding to me.
Sir,
It should be about, to me, it should be about who is going to provide you with the best possibility of having the best life. I mean, there's a bus driver out there right now that might make you feel like you the queen of fucking England and take care of you, but you may look at him as dating down, so you don't even want to do it. Or if you actually bring yourself to do it, you'll look like you're losing out on some mystical guy, magical guy that you should be having. I think that happens a lot.
What's your name again, sir?
My name is Damien.
Okay, Damien. I don't disagree that you can find someone who may not have, the same level of education as you. Hell, maybe even someone who does and doesn't make as much money as you, or any combination of these possibilities. I will concede that it is possible. But what I'm telling you is, empirically speaking, when you look at the data, if you understand the way that socioeconomics work, you're describing outliers. Is that means that it's an anomaly, or it's an exception to the rule. The rule is your education's correlated with your socioeconomic strata or position in society. What the research tells us is that while yes, some people can make it work, long term, finances present a problem, and I believe it's the number one reason for divorce anyways. So while some people, you may not have your education and you may live comfortably, that's not the rule. That is not the rule. The rule is your education predicates your socioeconomic mobility. And if you are partnering with someone who does not have an education, your ability to climb or to even go from one socioeconomic bracket to another is exponentially lower and more difficult. Everybody knows, even upper middle class, it is very difficult to go from one socioeconomic bracket to another. It is one of the most difficult things that you can do. If you're going to marry someone who is not educated, you're compounding that difficulty is what you're doing. So while I can concede that it is possible, the research disagrees objectively, and as a general rule, that's not the way that it works in a capitalistic society.
Okay, can I say this? The only thing I was trying to say, I didn't get to finish my statement. I was saying that, can we agree that some people, like the DJ academics and people like this that are on the internet, they speak tough and they speak in a certain way on the internet that they would not speak in real life, that they would not stand on in real life?
I don't agree with that. I think that the DJ academics, that fat piece of shit, I think that he's like that in real life too. And I think
academics is a clown.
He's not like that. He will not speak. He won't speak to men like that in real life.
Hold on. There was a video a couple weeks back where he was acting like the most ratchet hood rat, and he didn't know he was being videoed. And he was
talking to women. He was talking to
a woman.
He talks to women like that, but not men.
Exactly. But he talks crazy to men online. He talks crazy to men online as well. But he would not say that to a man's face.
I can't say that. I can't say that. I don't know.
He hasn't done it, and he's had opportunities to. He was on the podcast with Vic Mensa, and Vic Mensa said, like, if no security was in here, do you think I would slap you in your face or something like that?
But we've already established that the con men and the charlatans that run the channel are not like the minions. We established that. We established that a long time ago. Kevin Samuels wasn't about that life. Red pill people, manosphere people, they're not about that life. They're about that life on their webpage.
So that's the only point I was making. That's the only point I was making.
But then we were talking about two different things. I was talking about the minions are real. Case in point, Exhibit A. This dude here, this is a real person. Why are you so jealous of our godfather, Jen? These are men who didn't have stable
fathers,
consistent fathers. That is why, a man in skinny jeans and kitten heels can become his godfather with a webcam. This is Exhibit A. So when people tell me these people aren't real and this is not real, this is not real life, what men do you know? There is one in my chat right now who typed with a conscious mind, why are you so jealous of our godfather, Jen? He literally, this man who hasn't created him, put money in his pocket, gave him a job. All the motherfucker did was throw on his skinny jeans, cam up, and now we have a full adult male, guarantee a black male, saying, why are you so jealous of our godfather? This is real. This is the reality of social media. Now, this man right here will go out in the world and look at all the women like, she don't want me. She want Pookie and Ray Ray. She don't like Kevin Samuels. They want us for our money, though they don't have any fucking money. And then he goes on to say that Kevin Samuels was for high value men. What fucking high value men frequent watching a man in skinny jeans who didn't have a fucking career, whose best move in life was talking to a bunch of idiots? What high value man is doing that over and over and over again? No, it's these guys. It's these guys. Why are you jealous of our godfather? This is real. These people are real, and it takes me back to the beginning of the show. That these fucking charlatans in these comments are putting these motherfuckers out there with batteries in their back, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Women are not a monolith. This same idiot will go out and write, that's why, oh, you don't want me? That's because Jen wants Pookie and Ray Ray. This is what happens. This is what happens. So we know the con man is sitting in his ivory tower, like the Trumps, like the Kevin Samuels, but the minions are the ones that do the damage. Who ran up in the Capitol? Was it Trump? No, it was the idiots that follow him. It's the same thing in our communities. The only problem is that in our communities, they're not running up in the fucking Capitol. They're in our dating pools, in our neighborhoods. They're available to our daughters and our nieces and our cousins.
Also, just like what I was saying earlier.
Hold on. Hold on.
They have the consequences.
Sir, hold on. I think it's a problem specifically for Black men when they dismiss the concerns that are pervading the Black community. Because a lot of people think that, oh, it's online, it's not real. Like it's a mirage. It's not really there. It's not really a problem. You need to understand the way that people interact with the world and the effect that it has, and the way that the world interacts with people and the effect that it has. YouTube, social media in general, and there are studies, there are a litany of studies that have gone on to describe and explore the ramifications and how detrimental social media has been to human beings in the contemporary world. There is an effect, there is a detrimental impact that YouTube and these spaces specifically have on this population. When you try to negate it and say, oh, no, it's not me. Oh, it's the internet. You're doing yourself as a Black man a disservice because it's cognitive dissonance. It's delusion. To not acknowledge it, like you don't want to deal with it, that's a separate issue. If you're going to say it's not happening, that's one thing. If you're going to say, hey, it's happening, but I don't want to deal with it, that's another. It is happening. And as a Black man, it's important for Black men to acknowledge it if they're going to do anything about it. Otherwise, you're going to let these males who outnumber you, mind you, you're going to let them run amok, continue to run amok. That's what you're going to do. Like a coward. That's what you're going to do.
Jen, like you were saying, those people will deal with the consequences. If they come at women improperly, they will deal with the consequences from getting a battery put in their back and going off and doing stuff, just like those people that did that rushed the Capitol. Those people is finna get locked up. So they're learning that there's consequences, that you can go with this stuff that's on the internet, but when you go out here into the real world, there's real consequences that these dudes are crying about. A lot of these dudes are crying, talking about, oh no, I got a family and this and that. And they didn't think about that before. Like you said, they got the battery put in their back. They ran into the Capitol. And in every action, there's an equal or opposite reaction. So there was consequences for those men, and hopefully they learned their lesson, not to just believe any damn thing you hear unless somebody put a battery in your back, unless you feel like on your own accord, hey, I want to run up into this Capitol, then I'm going to run up in there. I'm not going to run up in there because Donald Trump or anybody on the internet said it. If I feel like running up in there because I know the consequences that are going to come with it. That's the only point I was making.
Look, respectfully, Black men historically and consequences haven't been really known to work. But yeah, we can move on.
Just Notice said, hold up, most of Kevin Samuel's subscribers were women, and the black man is God, not no damn king. That's a good contribution to the discussion. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, women in the community are just as damaged. Yes, absolutely. It's not hard to manipulate a people that's broken. It's not. I mean, they've been doing it in our communities since the beginning of fucking time. The easiest people to manipulate and get money from are the broken. Let's not play stupid just for shits and giggles. The easiest people to manipulate and get to follow you are the fucking broken. And who's more broken? And who's more broken than in our fucking communities? Who's more broken than us?
And
Well,
to
you have
play
to look
off
at, you
what
have to
you're
look at the
saying,
dynamic between black men and black women, right? Black men in a social hierarchy and the power, the way that power works, yeah, black men have the ability to subjugate and oppress black women. So yeah, black women are going to listen to black men. They've been doing it, and unfortunately, listening to black men historically it's like shooting ourselves in the feet, and now we can't even walk. I mean, like it's a problem. But yeah, when you look at the black community and you see where black men's decisions have led us, and you see where listening to them and following them has led us and where it's got us. I mean, yeah, like it is a problem. But when you do take a group of women who are oppressed and subjugated, and you take a group of powerless men who are subjugating and oppressing them, yeah, you're gonna. That's the result. They are going to listen to a booty goon, Kevin Samuels. They are going to want to seek advice because these same black men are socializing and teaching and conditioning them to value marriage, even though in the black community, really and truly, from a fiscal point of view, marriage is not valuable in the black community because black men don't really, collectively, they don't really have anything valuable. They
What's a
present
booty
themselves, and
goon?
that's about it.
What is a booty goon? I'm sorry. Is that a new term for something?
Homosexual.
Oh,
that's
okay.
a
So
that's a
Sorry,
West,
a closeted
that's a West Indian
homosexual.
thing.
A closeted. I don't have anything
gotcha.
against gay
And
people.
is this where you say you don't have anything against homosexuals?
No, I actually don't. But he's a closeted homosexual,
Okay.
and that's why. So he kind of hits it like a goon, and then
But
it's different.
So
Yeah.
there's a difference between a homosexual, right? Let's just be clear. There's a difference between a homosexual and a man who's on the down low and uses that to project his hate on women.
So you thought something Kevin Samuels did?
That's what I believe he did. Absolutely. Now, whether he's
just a quick question. I'm not an acolyte of his or whatever. I'm just all about what's fair and factual.
I don't know if he was. Listen, I don't know if he took it in the ass. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know his. I don't know him.
But prior to 2 years ago, 60% of his videos talking shit about people was him talking about men, how they need to get their shit together. It wasn't until later on that average at best that women started to subscribe and constantly calling in because they wanted to fight or they wanted validation. So it was not like he was just, his whole career was, you know what, I'm just going to start day one talking shit about women and then hope it builds something. He was saying, men, get your shit together because ain't no woman going to want you for the first 6 years of his career.
But for the first 6 years, it wasn't lucrative, and he didn't go viral.
Let's get it straight.
But that doesn't mean he wasn't doing it. If I make a sandwich shop and people are buying something out, but then one person buys it and then it blows up, is that me? Is it who? I mean, is it his bad for taking advantage of something that ran away?
You're making it seem like it was it wasn't intentional.
It was intentional. He saw the formula.
No, right. But what he was doing wasn't working until he realized that there's a market in denigrating Black women. There is a market.
A huge market. A huge market.
So wait a minute. So let's ask the question.
Wait, but let's be clear that Kevin Samuels he was trying different things. He tried the cologne thing. He tried, I'm a stylist. He tried, I'm a relationship person. He tried, and then he was like, oh shit, average at best pays. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna berate Black women and get paid. That was the trajectory of his career. That is what happened. That is what bitches are doing now.
It's just hard. It's like it seems like the way a lot of women try to phrase it is like he was calling up women like, hey, and just talking shit about them. These women were calling in to either fight or be validated.
But now you sound but Damien,
Hold on,
respectfully,
let me finish.
now you sound like, wait, I know where you're going because I've heard this before. I'm telling you, this conversation is redundant. Now you sound like the guy who's selling crack on the corner. I didn't tell him to come buy crack from me. I just sell the crack. He was selling crack. He knew he was selling crack. He knew he was being divisive between black men and black women. And he was lining his pockets with it with abandon. With abandon.
Absolutely.
All I have to do is tell a bitch she's a 5, and these motherfuckers are gonna super chat me. So it's like on the corner. I didn't.
You tell a chick she's a 5, and then it seems like 1,000 other women want to come and tell you how you ain't shit. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna talk shit to these women who called to talk to me. And unfortunately, it wasn't necessarily the most eloquent or the smartest women calling. So it just made his situation even. It made it easier for him to like appear like he's shitting on him because nobody like you, Anna, called Kevin Samuels to go toe to toe with him. It didn't happen.
But he was. I don't take advice from closeted homosexuals who can't stand in their truth. Number one, I mean, he's not even married.
Why is that an issue? What does his sexuality got to do with anything?
Because he's going after the same population.
Come off as a very educated person, and I really want to. I'm getting a lot from what you're saying. When you start saying shit like causing homosexual, you lose me, and you lose people like me.
He wants the same men that I want. I'm not going to listen to him. He's my competition. What do you mean? First of all, second of all, you have to take into consideration that these black women, they're operating with a very low self-esteem, and part of the reason that they're doing that is because black men socialize them to put so much stock and value in marriage. Black men will try to invalidate your entire existence. And the first question a black man is going to ask you is, are you married? Because they seek
black
to
man is going to
hold on.
In what context is the black man saying, are you married?
Hold on. They seek to invalidate you because they understand that black women put so much value in marriage.
When I've met a woman in the past,
but that
are you married?
Hold on. Let me tie it into this conversation because now this is why men are losing. Now, I'm not going to say black women. Black women, we need our self-esteem. We need to do something about it and stop dealing with these bums, specifically black men. But globally, men are seeing, okay, these women are getting educated. And because they're not subjugated anymore, because they have rights, because they're able to operate and they're able to maneuver in the system independently, they have social, economic, and political lives. They have autonomy. They have agency. Yeah, so they don't need us anymore. And therefore, marriage is not as valuable as it once was. Marriage, again, an economic proposal. A lot of people's livelihood was predicated on marriage, and especially who they married. Now we don't really need marriage. So now black men are scratching their heads like, okay, wait, if these women aren't valuing marriage, what can we weaponize?
I'm sure you have the answer to this because
what can we project? So what can we project?
What percentage of, let's keep it in black, what percentage of black women want to be married?
Continue to beat down their self-esteem so that they continue to deal with us.
What percentage of black women want to be married?
Sorry?
Do you have I don't know. If you don't have it, I'm not trying to, it's not a gotcha. I'm just curious.
Or would you consider dating outside your race, maybe?
I can't, I didn't hear you.
What percentage of black women would like to be married, want to be married, or see marriage in their future?
Right. That doesn't matter because women don't initiate marriage, men do. No, it doesn't. It does. If you know what matters, black men have the lowest rate of marriage of all groups of men. That's what matters. So what black women want really doesn't matter. What do black men want? They don't want to get married. They don't value marriage. They don't value family. That's what matters.
Let me get this straight. If black women told men you are not getting sex without getting married, men want sex. We don't want wedding. We don't necessarily marriage. If he didn't have to marry a lot of women to just have consistent sex and access to whatever cool shit, dope shit about her that she has, that he feeling, he wouldn't get married. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just curious. It was like, so if a black man is marrying a black woman, or any man is marrying any woman, it's because the woman would probably wanted to get married somewhat more than the man did.
No, white men are socialized specifically that by a certain age, I'm going to say this with a caveat. psychologically sound men who come from affluent families and high socioeconomic status, these things are socialized in them at a very young age. Marriage is a part of life. And this is why you see white women and I think it's white men, they have the highest rates of remarrying because marriage is valuable. They put stock in marriage. A lot of like affluent and powerful white men, if they're not married by a certain age or at a certain time in their life, they're not even trusted. Not like even in the corporate space, in the corporate world, marriage is important, and they're socialized at a young age to understand that. That's why they're getting married outside of.
So would you consider marrying somebody of another race, maybe, so that those standards would be able to be met?
Oh, I think that Black women as a collective need to absolutely, and that's what the professor out of Stanford was saying. He said that Black women need to change their dating strategies, and they need to seek partnerships that will be more equitable and more advantageous to them. They need to seek that outside of Black men, because Black men is not, they're not it. Statistically, socially, romantically, economically, maritally, they're not it. They have a higher divorce rate than a marriage rate. And you can't even sit here and say, oh, it's just Black women. You have a 200% divorce rate with white women. So you're not a good mate with any race of women. The problem is specifically in Black men. So yeah, Black women, get the best man for the job. And it's more than likely, statistically speaking, unfortunately, it's not going to be a Black man.
So let me say this real quick, and then I want to pass the mic to Joanna because she's been waiting patiently. Dude in the chat, atheist, don't attack anyone on the panel with your words. Don't attack Black women. To answer your question, where are the Kevin Samuels defenders? They are not here, sir. You got one more time before I kick you through the block uprights. If you have no self-control, okay, and you don't want to be here, leave. Period. There are about 50 dudes right now pretending to be Kevin Samuels, trying to take his place. So you can go over there. That's where his defenders are. They're not here. You got one more. You got one more. And I fucking loathe treating adult males like children, but you got one more. I'm going to talk to you like I talk to my grandson. One more fucking time. Do not attack anyone on the panel. Assume anything about their life. I had to pause like you're a child. You got one fucking more. We don't do that here. How are you doing, Joanna?
Hey, I love to see it when you regulate, Jen.
It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. But they're used to acting like this on other channels, and they think every channel is that way.
You know, I'm not about censorship or anything, but I like a sense of decorum. And it's almost like decorum is just left the building, so to speak. And it's wonderful and refreshing to see.
Whenever they don't agree with a woman, they roll out there. Single baby mama. You married? And to answer your question, Damien, a lot of men ask, are you married, when they get in a verbal fisticuffs with you? They think that's an issue.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were saying when they're approaching you for dating purposes.
Oh, no.
That subject.
No, they're trying to weaponize it, and they're trying to.
Are you married? Like that's supposed to mean something. No, I didn't marry a bum like your mama did. Can we move on?
and more importantly, and this is to all of the. For me to be bothered by, I understand Jen does have to regulate. This is her panel, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't care about what a Black male has to say. Like the entire world doesn't care about what you have to say. You think that I'm gonna care? Like really? Come, let's be honest. We don't believe you, and you need more people. Nobody cares about your opinion in society, including me. So let's keep it moving.
Good to know.
All right, Giovanna?
Yes, ma'am. I just want to say that, wow, Annalisa, it's refreshing to have you again back on the show. I agree with everything you said. I was listening to someone last night on YouTube.
So guys, I'm so sorry, Joanna. The people in the chat who have the wrenches, please use them, because I can't pay attention to everything. These motherfuckers want to act like infants in the chat and can't handle women talking about what we're talking about. Please get them the fuck out of here. Get them out of here. Because I want to have this conversation. Get them you have wrenches. Get them the fuck out of here on this Friday night. Por favor. Go ahead, Juana.
So I was listening to someone last night, and it was a male, it was a man, a black man, and he was saying about how, and he was discussing with other black men about these issues, these similar issues that you're having. And they didn't use the word, women aren't monolith or anything, but the discussion was something along the lines that, women aren't our grandmothers anymore, and the women who are here now, they're not the same. And so your title of your conversation made me think about that, about how women have evolved. And it seems, sadly, just in my humble opinion, I hope this doesn't seem disrespectful, gentlemen, but it seems like men are stunted, like they are not evolving in their thinking. Because this man last night was saying that the women today simply are not the women of yesterday, and it's never going back. And that made me think about how, as a human species, how we've been on this trajectory from, single cell organisms to evolving, into walking, land creatures, to being hunter gatherers, to the agricultural. When we finally, learn how to grow food and we stayed in one place and we're just so nomadic, to the industrial age, until, up until the 80s, where, everybody had some kind of a company job. And, my grandfather had a pension. He worked for the, public schools, driving a bus for 30 years, and he got a pension. And but see, those things aren't there anymore. Those jobs aren't there anymore. Like, we're not an agricultural society anymore. Like, we're not so much into the industrial age anymore. We're in tech age. That's never those jobs that kept you for 30 years. Those are gone. People don't want you that long anymore. Likewise, gentlemen, what Jen is saying earlier, not all women want to be married. Not all women have those same ideals. She doesn't necessarily want you that long. Just like the job my grandfather had, he couldn't get that job now if he were living today. They don't want him for 30 years. They want you about 5, 6, 7 years, and you're supposed to move on like we do, because we're all in the tech area and we're all into media, and we have, outside things, gigs and stuff, of ways of, accruing income. Likewise, the female today, the woman today, she's not necessarily, hold your sign up, some, not all, but majority of women, they don't really want the same things. They don't want to, they want a relationship, but they don't want to cook and clean and do your, laundry and watch you play football and they be in the kitchen and do this stuff. And it's like men seem to be stuck in this nostalgia, in their minds of what their grandfathers had, or, and I can't, don't take this the wrong way, not even what your fathers had, because a lot of you weren't raised with fathers in the home. So it's like, I kind of feel bad for men, because women have constantly evolved from that single cell organism, and their trajectory is high, and it's ever expanding. And I kind of feel bad for men when I listen to these conversations, though I agree with them, but as just as one human being to another, I kind of feel bad for men, because like the Kevin Samuels of the world, a lot of men don't realize that those men in his chat who were rah-rah-rahing, those weren't high value men.
Right.
They probably never will be. That's a 1%. And this is what Kevin Samuels did not really hit home, because they would have taken some of his money away. But he never told those men in his chat that you guys aren't high value men. You never will be. That's like a very minute percentage of people. And so, but women are always going to be progressing. She's always going to be looking for, and have higher standards. She's always going to be wanting more. She's always going to get bored. She's going to get bored with, the antics. She's going to get bored with your playing the video games. She's going to get bored with your, needing someone to mother you or father you or I'm rambling on, but I hope something that I said made sense. Ladies, what do you think about what I said?
I'd like to say something real quick.
But first, can I hear from the ladies just to see if they were they following me any kind of way?
Listen, that resonates with me because that's exactly what is happening. Women are continuing to evolve and adapt in an ever-changing global and in an ever-changing world and an ever-changing system. We are evolving and adapting, and we are succeeding. That's the thing, right? Like, men can say whatever they want, but we're able to compete. We're able to get our education, and all of these things mean that we don't have to put up with the little that you try to offer us. Women have historically had to do the heavy lifting in relationships emotionally. We've had to do the communicating. Men mostly rely on their sexual prowess. They mostly rely on their economic status. But now we have that. We have that, and we have been liberated in the last 20 years. So that's not enough. Now you have to know how to have a conversation. Now you have to have emotional regulation. You have to have emotional intelligence, empathy. Now you need to dig deeper as a man, because what you've had to offer is not good enough. And sitting with that feeling, I can understand it's not a good feeling. And I understand the cognitive dissonance that you're going to employ to tell yourself that it's not you, it's the world around you, it's the women. No, it's you. And you're no longer good enough, and you're no longer able to compete. That is the problem. So I 100% agree with you. I wish that Black men could understand that. And once they accept it, maybe they'll start to do the inner work. Maybe they'll start to look within and reflect and gain some introspection, so that they can try to figure out how to be better humans, so that they can be better men.
Because she's never going back, gentlemen. It's never going back to my grandmother
is it going
having.
Back? I just want to ask a question, Jen.
I have to say something.
I didn't answer Joanna. She wanted the ladies to answer first. Let me answer. I do agree with you, Joanna. You're on point a lot. I'm a perfect example of that. I'm a very traditional woman. I cook all 4 burners, okay? I'm doing everything. I'm very much a caterer to men. I was raised that way. I talk about it all the time. Puerto Rican women are damn near raised like geishas. The man is the king of the house, even if he has nothing. He is the king of the house. My brother eats first. They get first pick. But when now in this environment, I'm looking at the men who still want that, and I'm like, it's not even fucking conducive. It doesn't make sense. Why am I sitting home working 4 burners when I have to go out there and work? I enjoy working. I enjoy making my own money. It doesn't fit anymore. It doesn't fit. So like you said, Joanna, it's like men are still there. Men are still like, I want to come home and she has a skirt on and she's good. It doesn't fit. We've evolved. Yes, I can do all those things. Yes, I like doing all those things, but it doesn't make sense in my life anymore. It doesn't make sense. Now, back in 1950, yeah, perhaps. But now Jen is moving, shaking. What's the next gig? What's the next money? I want to invest in this. I want to do that. I got to pay for this. I got to pay. I don't have time to. Would you like another pie, honey? It doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah. It's like asking us to go back to the horse and buggy when we have vehicles. It just doesn't work.
Can the men jump in here?
Women in the contemporary world want to be happy. We're investing in ourselves. We're investing in self-care. And if men are not going to do the work that it takes, if they're not going to come whole, because we're getting whole. We're coming to the table whole. And if you can't meet us at the table whole, then you can eat alone and die alone.
And that's another thing, that it's like the men that attack me online or attack when I'm like, motherfucker, I'm happy. I'm in the gym. I'm eating what I want to eat. I'm traveling. I'm going to shows, you know what I mean, by myself, or calling my girlfriends to do it. Like, I'm not pining and hurt and laying in a Kevin Samuels chat, waiting for somebody to resonate with my bitterness and my rejection in life. Like, you're 10 times worse off than I could ever be. I wake up, I'm happy, I'm moving, I'm shaking. What's the next thing? You're waiting for a man to tell you, yeah, they pick Pookies and Ray Rays. So even in that, we're uneven because you're unhappy, you're bitter, you're lonely. What does it matter whether or not I'm married if you're fucking miserable? These men are miserable.
And there's one more thing I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna probably get off because I have to get up at 2:30 in the morning. But there's one more thing about one of those Kevin Samuels points that I've really pondered since his transition. That whole get a dog or die alone. Whether you're married or not, specifically if you're married, one of you, if you live long enough, whether you have children or not, or animal or pet or not, specifically if you have children or not, you're going to die alone. You're going to be in a facility if you live long enough. You're going to be in a assisted living facility or some type of environment where other people are going to have to assist you, and none of your family members are going to be there.
How do you know that?
They're
How
not.
can you say that?
Damien, beloved, I'm getting ready to leave, so
My
please
love.
just allow me. Just allow me. Cause see, I just want you to hear me. We're all going to go to the same place,
No,
regardless if we marry or not. We're all going to the same place, and that's
Jen and I
even
are
if
going to
you have
something different.
that's even if you have children, okay? Because no one's going to take care of you, beloved. You're going to have to pay for that. That's the part of the trajectory that I'm talking about. Going from the agriculture system to the way that we used to have, it used to be, grandmoms and grandpops stayed at home with you. We're not doing that anymore. We're all going to the assisted living place. We're all going to the elderly home. We're all going to that hospice eventually. None of us are going to get out of here without that. So that's another way that Kevin Samuels weaponized women not being married. And Jen, I just want to say thank you for the conversation. Gentlemen, with much respect, I have so much love and respect for you. I just hope that a lot of the men out there are hearing this. I'm going to go to bed. I have to be up at 2:30 in the morning for a project. So good night. And it's wonderful to see you and speak with you again, Annalicia.
Lovely seeing you, Joanna.
So let me play this video. I haven't got to the video yet. Let me play the video so we can discuss it, por favor. Thank you, Joanna, so much.
I have to really say something after you play the video.
What, Haran?
After you play the video, I really have to say something.
Okay. I'm dying of what Veganista said. You'll probably be happier with the dog just saying. Let me tell you something. You know what? That's funny because it's fucking true. I'd rather get me a Yorkie and be free to do whatever the fuck I want to do and not answer to a man and not wash dirty drawers and not have to cook dinner and not have to be cute all the time and not have to wear a pat him on the back because the world is beating them down. I'd be much better off with a fucking Yorkie. So Kevin Samuels had that right? Some of us will die alone. Some of us will die on top of hookers, but we're all gonna die.
If we're lucky. No,
I forgot who was up here last time, but they were in the medical field. I don't remember who it was, but she was saying that most of the men dying in the hospice where she was were Black men, and they were alone, and they didn't have families. So I mean, it happens. It just happens.
Yeah, no, it is Black men. I go to a lot of hospice centers and a lot of shelters, and the number of Black men is just, it's exponentially high, and they don't have family checky for them. They don't have a network of support, and when they're on that deathbed, I can assure you they're dying. Oh, with the exception of a nurse, they are dying alone. Black women, the dynamic is a little bit different because the children that they've reared, likely on their own, are checking for them, are visiting them, and are surely going to be by their side. So yeah, no, Black men are the ones that die alone.
Yeah, we were there for my grandmother. We were like 10 strong in that room in that hospice every day until the final
Play
day.
the video.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the video. So this video I'm about to play started a whole fucking firestorm on TikTok. Why? Because men started talking about this is what happens to women, right? Which I came up with, men lose thinking women are monoliths, because I'm like, I can't relate to this woman in any way, motherfucking shape or form. But now they, of course, Black men are weaponizing her against Black women. Of course they are, right? This is their proof that Black women ain't shit. And when they get old and fat, they want to settle down. This is the proof right here. All right, so this is the lady. Probably seen it, probably not. Listen.
I want to be loved. I want somebody to love me. I want somebody I can be vulnerable with. The problem is all the relationships that I had with men were not about love. It was about survival for me. I know how to fuck. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I know how to seduce a man. I do not know how to love a man. And then to have a son, because of those choices that I was making, y'all, and I got pregnant really, really fast. I got pregnant within 90 days of knowing my baby daddy. And we don't talk about this shit because it's embarrassing and it hurts. It fucking hurts. And I'm mad with me. I'm not mad at men. I'm not mad at my life. I'm mad at me because I don't know how to fix me. I don't know how to fix it. That's accountability.
Well, there was a resounding. They threw up the bat signal. See, there's the proof that Black women are single baby mothers and they have a whole life. And then at the end, when they're fat and busted and ugly, they want us. Okay. And from YouTube to TikTok, those are the rebuttals, the retorts, the reaction videos. Here's the proof, right? And I'll say this and pass the mic really quickly. I see a woman who has a hell of a lot of personal issues and should not be looking for a man. But this is what happens. It goes back to what I said. People get in relationships because they need somebody and they want somebody to love them, right? And then you get in a relationship that leads to a dead end because the work you were supposed to put in was about you, not about I need somebody to love me. So I will pass the mic, but this thing it's gone viral and everybody's talking about it. And you can just imagine what the reaction videos are looking like and how these men are weaponizing her plight. So whoever wants to take it, Haran, I know you wanted to speak.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I think that one of the things that's not really being considered is that not every guy, you know what I mean? I mean, men aren't a monolith either. You know, there's some guys, me personally, you know, I'm happy that you guys are out there, you're killing it, you're doing what you need to do for yourselves. You got your footing in the world. Because one of the main reasons why is now I don't have to call you every fucking night. Now you're not in my face every fucking time.
I didn't hear that. You don't have to what?
I said because I don't have to call you every fucking night. You're not in my face every 5 fucking minutes. Okay? You have your own life. You have your own things. You have your own home. You have your own space. You have you are the law wherever you are. Great. Wonderful. I am a major supporter of the idea of leasing relationships. Okay? I lease shit. I don't, you know what I mean? You know, things run their course. It is what it is, so on and so forth. A lot of what we're going through right now is based on one thing and one thing alone. It's based on money. Your grandmother, you know what I mean, or your great grandmother, she stayed with her dude because, well, she couldn't get a bank account. She didn't have any fucking resources. So she had to put up with him. These are the realities that a lot of people don't want to fucking talk about because we want to romanticize relationships. We want to romanticize, you know, human nature. No, there was a lot of, you know what I mean, financial abuse going down. And the moment women got their shot, when women saw the opening, they went and took it. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, I don't think marriage is that big of a deal. Yeah, I'm sure you don't, because now you got your own shit. You have your own opportunities now. You have your own opportunities to fly the world. You have your own thing going on. Great, wonderful. Everybody's humble when everybody has to share a plate. Everybody's humble. Everybody's down for the cause. You know what I mean? When there's not that many resources going on. There's a saying: keep your friends rich and your enemies rich. Then you find out which is which. When people are free to make a decision, you find out who they are. And women are just doing human shit. Women are having the opportunity to go out there and live the lives that men lived previously. And hey, I'm all for it, because I'm not the kind of guy that's going to show up every 5 minutes. I got shit to do. That's way more important than you. My entire world doesn't revolve around a relationship with a person. For some of us, we wake up in the morning and we're thinking about all the shit that we got to do. And somewhere down the line, yeah, she comes up. Not before the kid, but she comes up.
Now listen, that's called motherfucking bars, nigga. You know nothing about
exactly. You know what I mean? So,
hi, Tristan.
So the point of the matter is that every dude ain't mad out here, man. Some dudes are real happy for you. Some dudes are real happy for you because it's real convenient for us. You know what I mean? Like,
thankfully, I'm surrounded by men who are doing the damn thing, whether they're single or married, and they're happy people they're not subscribers to this crap. They're not like this dude Atheist. He's like Kendra G, Kendra Dave, Melanie King, Chantel Simone. And this is another good. I listen. I'm sorry. I'm a groupie for, like, when I'm having a discussion when the exhibits show up. So listen to this, right? Kendra G, Kendra Davis, Melanie King, Chantel Simone, and Courtney Michelle. Prove you wrong, Jen. This is a man that's so invested in this YouTube world. He could just knock these names off one after the other. I don't even know who these bitches are. More power to them. I don't know what they do. Great, good. Get it how you live, mama. But this is another example.
You know Kendra G.
Oh, okay. Yes, I know. I know myself. But I'm like, this whole list of people, and these people, this is the new world order. Like, social media is the new world order. And to be able to just run off these names, you know what I mean? No one proves me wrong. Those women, I'm sure they're lovely. They have their opinions. I have my opinions, but nobody proves me wrong. Atheist, I actually feel bad for you. I feel bad for you because I know you didn't have a daddy. I know you didn't. So, like Joanna said, I feel bad for you in that aspect, because this is like the new home for a lot of people. Like, the internet has adopted a lot of people that didn't have a good home with two parents. The internet has adopted them. But yes, I know Kendra G. That's my girl.
But what does that even prove with those names? I don't understand. I don't know.
They have this is the new religion. I was saying the other day, like, people stop going to church. They come here. They come to YouTube. They don't go to church anymore. This is the new church. This is where people preach to them. This is where they pay their tithes. YouTube is the new church. People don't go to church no more. They come here, and then they look for their preachers, and then they're like, yes, speak, preacher. Amen, amen, hallelujah. That's what they do here now. There's no more church. This is the new church.
Well, most people look to deify anything. You know what I mean? Before this, you know what I mean, there was David Koresh, there was, you know what I mean, there was Charles Manson, you know what I mean, offline, there were cults and so on and so forth. No, I mean, you know what I mean, cults aren't, you know what I mean, brand new. Cults, I mean, every religion, the only difference between a religion and a cult are the number of people involved. Okay. Every religion started out as a cult. All right. And
the haircuts.
What it is. And that's it. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. But, you know, the only, you know, with social media, the reason why it's so profound is that, you know, you're able to reach your target audience exponentially faster than you were able to do offline in the analog world. You know what I mean? If you were growing some sort of weird, sick fucking cult, it took you years. You know what I mean? Now you can just get a band of, you know what I mean, sexless, moralists, you know what I mean, all kinds of lists, you know what I mean, dudes together in a room within 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So that's why it seems that this shit is so, you know what I mean, toxic.
What do
And
you
like,
think about the video? Let's talk about the video and what that
Well,
woman.
first of all, she led with "I can fuck." That's her problem. Okay, not I like rainy days and you know what I mean, sunshine, and I like the smell of you know what I mean, bread being baked. No, she said I could fuck.
She brought it down to the base level of what she thinks matters to
mean,
all women. The most important thing. That's what she thought.
No, that's what's important to men, and because that's what men, especially
That's what
black
I said.
men,
That's what like she basically tried to say. All the thing that men find important, I have that. Why can't I find anybody?
This is a woman who has been chronically let down by black men. That's what you're looking at. She's obviously a broken woman. She's obviously gone through a lot, going through a lot, and she thinks that a man is going to help her.
Hold on a second. Did she? How do you know she dates black men? Did she say that in a video? I don't think she said that.
She really? Who do you think she dates? Brad? Like, stop. Listen,
I'm just saying.
Her son is black, but I don't know if that's her but her son is black.
I didn't know she was saying it just seems just funny how you automatically just said been let down by black men, and she didn't mention any color of man at all. You just took it there.
I feel confident running with the educated guess that she dates black men, probably exclusively, and she's been let down by them. She's probably been exploited by them. Most black women have, and she thinks that a black man is going to help her, validate her, see value in her. And I think the part of the reason she's struggling so much is because black men don't see value in her, because they devalue single mothers, even though most of them came from a single mother, and they devalue black women as a general, just a general baseline. So that's what I think. I think that she needs, she obviously needs therapeutic help. I think that she needs to stop seeking validation from men. These black men can't validate anything. Not parking, not anything. Don't seek validation in black men, boo. You're never going to get it. They don't have validation to give. They can't validate themselves in the changing and evolving world. So she just needs to get help. She needs to focus on her own value, and she needs to determine her worth and her value. So many black women think that their value and their worth is wrapped up or predicated on what black men think. Like, it's not, though. Like, in reality, we decide and we determine our worth and our value. Niggas can't tell me anything about what I'm worth and how valuable I am. Like,
open a window, black man. Jump the fuck out.
I mean, it's less competition for me, Dame. I support it.
Yeah, black men out there.
Let me
open
say
a
this.
Window. Jump the fuck out, because
let me say this to Terrence and to Damien on the panel. Terrence, you know, this isn't preschool. It's unfair you keep letting her slam black men and then kick us out for responding. Here's the thing. If she's slamming black men, or you think she's slamming black men, unless she calls your name, Terrence Jenkins, I'm talking about you. You have to learn to listen to a conversation where there's differing opinions and you're not injured by it. That's what adults do. Children say, she calling me, she bothering me. We're all adults here. Someone could sit up here and say, Puerto Rican women ain't shit. I got to listen. They don't got nothing to do with me. Unless they say, Jen Garcia, you're not shit, then it's a conversation. But if someone's just speaking generally, that has nothing the fuck to do with me. And that is something that you men have to learn. Until she says, Terrence Jenkins, you ain't shit, then you have nothing to say. All you have to do is listen. Now, if you want to get friction, like you said, come up on a panel. I'm gonna drop, since you want to get friction, I will drop the link, and you are free to come up and give that friction. But as far as I know, you're just typing in the chat and you're being, you know, I don't know, triggered because the words black man are being used. No one has to jump out the window. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. Put it in a bubble and blow it away. I don't even know how some of you get by on a day-to-day basis with all this shit that's talked about us in general. How do you get by? Do you get everything.
Jen,
Black men are.
remember that's
Jen,
what I was
black men
saying
are
earlier,
so,
Jen.
They're so weak and they're so sensitive. They talk about, oh, women are emotional. They're not logical. They're so sensitive. No, it's you. You're the babies of society. You are sensitive. Everything triggers you. You cry about everything. Like you want the entire world to take care of you. Shut the hell up.
Like that statement, like you like to slam black men. If it's not you, then it's not you. And I will say this with love. I will say this. Figure out why these words are triggering you personally. Because like I said, someone can say Puerto Rican women, but bunch of hoes and that. If I'm triggered, I'm feeling a way personally about what that person said. So take the charge out of the person who's saying it and put it back in your back and ask yourself, why are these words affecting me? Is it because of society? Is it because I have PTSD being a black man in America? Is it because I got fired? Is it because that woman left me? Is it because my mother told me I wasn't shit? Is it because my sister talks down to me? But it has nothing to do with Annalicia and everything to do with you. If you are taking it personal, it has to do with you, not anyone who's saying it. If someone talks about Puerto Rican women and I get offended, it's because I'm lacking somewhere. I have some sort of PTSD or some trauma that somebody said something to me 10 years ago, and now I'm hearing it again in 2022 from someone that I don't break bread with, that I don't work with, that I'm not related to. And now it's triggering me. Why is she talking about Puerto Rican women? What the fuck does that have to do with me?
That's what I was saying earlier, Jen. People put too much into what people say. Too much. That's exactly what I was saying earlier. And Haran, you forgot about one. You forgot about Jim Jones with the Kool-Aid. So these people on the internet, they want us to drink the Kool-Aid.
No Kool-Aid.
I forgot.
So Terrence Jenkins is up here to give the friction.
Not really. Not really. I'm not taking anything she says personally. I'm just trying to be a part of the conversation. I'm not triggered by this. I'm 53 years old, but she. All right, I got it up on my face, fellas. Come on now. The one boy was on it with his shirt off. I'm chilling at home. I got my little wine going here.
That's what I'm talking
about. And I'm enjoying the conversation, huh?
Let's go, Terrence. Let's go.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Who's that? Who's that speaking? Who's that speaking?
It's just Tristan, but But if you mess up though, when you debate Anna, I do have a meme I am going to play.
You got a meme for me?
You can't lose to her. If you lose to her, I have to play it.
Oh, hey, my man.
I love this is why I love Tristan, but I'm not debating him. There's nothing to debate. What could he debate?
No, there's nothing to debate, but I think you're talking a little reckless. When you calling people homosexuals with no proof, you saying that black men are this or that.
What proof do you have that
misleading our women? It's crazy talk. It's crazy talk.
What proof do you have that he was a heterosexual man?
I don't have any proof.
No. That's not how it goes.
No more than you have. Thank you. Help me out, homie. Help me out.
That ain't how it goes.
Right, that's my point, though. That's my point.
That ain't how it goes. You don't have
prove me that you don't suck dick. No, you can't. No. I'm gonna put a dick in front of you. Don't suck it. And then come on. You can't do that. You gotta can't make an aspersion and be like, prove me wrong.
So let me do a super chat real quick.
I'm talking to Anna.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Necessary Evil for the super chat. Necessary Evil says, sometimes I think men label women complicated just to avoid any accountability of their own. Easier to cop out. Here's a smoothie. Thank you so much, Necessary Evil. That's right. You can super chat me or cash at me, and I will buy a smoothie.
I'm just waiting, brother Terrence. Let me say something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead,
say something real quick. Real quick.
Yes, sir.
These type of shows are basically like for debate purposes only. They shouldn't be taken as gospel. They shouldn't be taken so seriously, so personally. We come up here, we have fun. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but she
get
sounds
disrespected, you disrespect back, or whatever the case may be. But like I said, you can't. If this is the case, then this is going to lead into what I'm saying. What I was saying earlier, that what these men say, they don't move the masses of men. The internet is not the masses of people.
Right.
That are actually moving and shaking. They're just not. A lot of these people never get off the internet. They don't even meet women in real life.
That's not even my life. I'm married third time
I'm not
around.
talking about you, fam. I'm not talking about you, fam.
No, I was just adding the point. I was just adding the point. I was just making a comment.
Yeah, but go ahead. Y'all go ahead. I just want to say that.
Go ahead,
Then you gonna get hung up on.
say again. I can't hear him.
There
Okay,
he
I
go.
will pass the mic.
There he goes, that 3G internet. Here we go again.
I don't know. Is he frozen?
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
So I will say this, right? I don't know why it fucking matters that someone thinks Kevin Samuels is gay. I don't know why it fucking matters. I don't know why. I don't know why men have to come and cape.
Would you like to know why?
Ready?
Because it's a historically.
I didn't finish my point. You know, it's the same. Like I don't know. Like I like certain singers, and somebody will tell me that singer is gay. I don't care what you think. I still like the music. If you're a fan of Kevin Samuels, if you like listening to him sometimes, if you thought he was right twice a day, and someone says that they think he's gay because he had a very, very effeminate, delivery. I will say that. I'm not used to men being that effeminate who aren't homosexual, but I wasn't in his bedroom. I know what he took and what he gave, but he was very effeminate. So it's easy for someone to be like, he's a little auntie. He got a little auntie in his swag, a little auntie for me. So he may have been gay, but who cares?
Okay.
Like who cares? Like he didn't even care. How are you caring more than he cared?
You're his public defender?
Cares?
You're his
No,
public
all
defender?
I'm saying is it's just ironic that that's a quick way. That's the one way a lot of people use to emasculate men is just to say you're gay. It's like, oh my God, it's just.
I'm not saying it.
It's a disqualifier.
Let me finish. You know how we do it here. What's called it is it's the quickest way to kind of just like to just denigrate and emasculate a man. It's just like you're gay.
It's the equivalent of
you're soft. You're I mean, it's just like it's just
the equivalent of
it doesn't validate your point. It doesn't make your point more. It doesn't. You know, it does nothing for your point.
It's the equivalent of if you're getting a dude in a debate and he says, "Are you married? Are you a single mom?"
Hold on. Let me respond to him. That's not what I'm trying to do. I don't care who believes it, who doesn't believe it. That's what I think. That's my opinion. If you don't like it, slap yourself on the way out. I don't care. That's my position. I'm not saying it. I'm not a black man. Black men like to say, "Oh, are you married? Oh, you're a single mother." Black men like to do the invalidating. I let black men invalidate themselves. I don't have to say or do anything to emasculate black men. Their behavior does it for them.
So I'll say this regarding, I understand what you're saying, Damien, because that is something that women will say, like, "Oh, you're gay," or whatever. The reason why I say it is because he was effeminate. In my opinion, he did wear shoes with heels. He did wear very tight clothes. He was very metrosexual for my taste. He wore his bag feminine. He moved feminine. That's why I said it. But again, I don't know what he took in the ass or what he gave. But that's what I saw. He seemed a little sweet to me. Doesn't matter gay or straight.
I agree with you.
And I'm just saying it's just like it. Whether or not he did whatever he did in his bathroom doesn't invalidate anything that he might have been saying. You're saying I'm not going to take advice or I'm not going to listen to some gay dude. I mean, that's a bullshit argument.
Right.
No, that's what Anna said. She's like,
no,
I'm
that's
not
not what I
going
said.
I'm not going to give
That's not
any
what I said.
credence to. Hey,
That's not what I said.
She got some.
Straight.
That's not what I said.
He was a buffoon. So that's why I wouldn't take advice from him.
Right.
Not because he's gay or straight, because I love a lot of gay people who I had a gay man up here on the last stream. So it's not I wouldn't take advice from him because he's gay. It's someone who's trying to give advice, who's twice divorced, backed up on child support, effeminate. I can't take male advice from all of that. If that is your resume, twice divorced, your daughter don't like you,
right.
You were backed up on child support until you started berating black women online, you're a clown.
In this metro world, yeah. This is the metro world.
No, this is what I'm saying. It's like if you can't.
I don't.
Black men, hold on.
No.
Men always tell black women choose better. Use your discernment.
It gets us off the side. Yeah.
Sir, hold on.
Yeah.
You're choosing Pookie and Ray Ray. And
It
then when
has
black
nothing to
women
do with
say,
anything.
we
It
don't
has
listen.
nothing to do with
Let
anything.
him talk. Let him talk, Terrence.
You're
Let him
like
talk. I'm
100 years
sorry.
old. Like, have patience. When black women come out and say,
Right.
we're not buying what he's selling, we're using our discernment. Oh, he's a fraud. He's fraudulent. He's toxic. He's disrespectful, and he's auntie. Then you guys want to cop a plea and cry. Like pick a lane. Pick a
Nobody.
lane.
I don't see any tears. I don't see any tears in his chat.
Yeah, I mean,
So
all I heard a man say, I've heard various men say this in various places. And like I said, I could,
Then why say it? Then
I've
why say
seen,
it?
I'm seeing.
Then why say it?
What are you talking about?
Then why say it? Then why say it?
What are you talking about?
He has a latency on his side, I think.
Okay, all I'm trying to say is
You're
I'm not trying to say
you're
that
moving the goalposts. You're
he
moving the
wasn't.
goalposts.
Slow down.
He has a latency. He has a latency. He has a latency.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
You think it's
All
a
right.
delay?
Yeah.
Yes,
So
he has
all
a
I'm
delay.
saying
He
is
has
this.
streaming problems.
Yeah, I think he's streaming. He's reacting to
technological
something
delay.
Anna said.
It's a cognitive delay.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And be
See?
nice.
There you go.
And be nice. That's
You know,
not
Scarlett.
nice.
So all I'm saying is
Let me
it's not
say
that.
this. I just want to answer Don Levon. He said being feminine and being gay are two different things. I know they are, but gay men are usually feminine. I know those are two different things, but gay men are usually feminine. I just wanted to say that. You just seem, it's the same reason why. See, I can sit up here. This is how stupid it sounds to me. I try to justify Derek Jackson to you. That's how stupid it sounds when people try to justify Kevin Samuels to me. If I sat up here and argued you down about Derek Jackson, but he told the truth though, but he was right though.
All I'm saying is the one thing I find, and I'm gonna do something I never do. The one thing I find that's very disingenuous is like how hard it is for women to accept that sometimes people who have valid points can be imperfect people. If somebody said Martin Luther King was a very inspirational, seen as one of the greatest people that have lived, but then some people are like, well, he cheated on his wife, so he ain't shit. I mean, sometimes
Martin Luther King the same.
No. All I'm saying is this: like you got to let me finish, and then it'll get to the point. You got to let me finish.
What was one valid thing that he said?
Hold on, you got to let me finish, and then get to the point. That's another thing that's crazy.
No, I understand, but
it's all I'm saying is just like you can't sit there and you have to be comfortable with people. The message, listen to the message and separate the message from the man if the message is valid. The message that I hear from when I watched videos of his in the past, whatever, some of them were just for entertainment purposes because I want to laugh because I like goofy shit like that. But some of them, when he sit there and tell men, if you want this, you have to get your fitness right, get your money right, get your mind right, get yourself in a position to where you are of service in you are of service in your circle, that you are, high value. The only way you're going to have access to these things that you feel like you are entitled to is if you do X, Y, and Z. I rock with that because I feel like you can have a certain amount of success with women or a certain amount of whatever, but you'll never have the things that you feel like you are in. If you feel entitled to, you'll never have the things you feel you're entitled to if you don't get your shit together. And he said that to men day in and day out. And it was like men didn't feel like, oh my God, you're bashing us because I'm 5'7" and I make $40,000 a year and I'm 300 pounds. Men never rocked with like, oh my God, you're bashing us, because he told men all the time. He even said to a motherfucker, well, this is the part where people thought he was gay when he was like, you got a big dick to that one dude. That was kind of like, extra. But he was basically saying, it wasn't a little extra. But he was just basically saying, if she's not gonna get money, she's not gonna get a good-looking dude, and she's not gonna get a big dick, you ain't got nothing to offer a woman. Why would she try to have your kids? And that was another one that people kind of glanced over, and people took that part instead of hearing what he was saying about get your shit together so you are of value to the women that you want. Fair exchange.
So let me call Cap. Let me call Cap right now. Let's call Cap really, really quickly. Let me call Cap. It's bullshit because you wanted to throw, and I'm saying you in general, men wanted to throw Derek Jackson out with the bathwater. Now, Derek Jackson, like your homie, Kevin Samuels, said a lot of things that were factual about men and how men are horrible to women. I mean, a lot, like a lot. I was like, that's true. That's true. That's true. But Derek Jackson, in y'all's eyes, was a fucking buffoon, pandering to women for money, right? Then as soon as they found out he was cheating on his wife, all hell broke loose. But yet, y'all let Kevin Samuels slide with common sense commentary, like Veganista's just saying, okay? Because I would think a man who wants to better himself, I mean, there was a library before Kevin Samuels. There were self-help books. There's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, 48 Laws of Power, Power of Seduction. There's so many things, so many prominent, dominant men who ruled fucking empires that can teach men how to be men. But you want me to believe that a motherfucker who's twice divorced, because what we do is we say, well, nobody's perfect. And we think that that's going to be the scapegoat for a fucking charlatan, a fucking con man, a buffoon who was very effeminate, twice divorced, both wives hated his ass. He was estranged from his daughter, behind on child support, until he lost weight, put on a tight suit, and started berating Black women. But yet Derek Jackson is a buffoon. And I literally see buffoons on both sides of the spectrum. At least I can discern, even as a woman, even though Derek Jackson was trying to tickle my ears because he was pandering to women. How is it that I can discern buffoon over here pandering to women, buffoon over here pandering to Black men, both of them making a buku of money, and I can get that information from fucking scientists and scholars and people who have succeeded in relationships who don't cheat? How is it that I can discern that?
Thank
How
you.
is it that I can discern that? But men can't discern it. No, but it don't matter that, he was effeminate. It don't matter. If that motherfucker was in your circle, you'd be like, this nigga gay. And you would. You would. But because he has a tendency to bash Black women, but that, it doesn't matter. He's not gay. Well, he did ask about a dick. But that's not gay. If that man was in your circle, dressing the way he dresses, talking about big dicks, when he left, you and your boys would be like, yo, you heard that shit? That nigga gay as fuck. But because, he gave you the la razón, you give him a pass. No. If Derek Jackson is a buffoon, then Kevin Samuels is a fucking buffoon. They are both artists that use the internet, and they pandered to people who were broken.
Would you like an answer?
People
you asked the question. Would you like a general answer?
Let me add to that. It's funny how Black men
She asked the men that.
You guys will simp and cop please for Kevin Booty Goon Samuels.
Simp.
You guys will simp for another man because of the content, because of what he's saying about Black women. But pardon me?
What is a simp?
A simp is what Grandpa was doing. How do you know he's gay? You can't say that. Oh, don't say that. Now, he's copying a plea for him. That's the public defender. That's someone who is going to defend you at all costs. Let me tell you something about Kevin Booty Goon. He was a pookie in a suit, and you guys loved him. You loved a pookie. You simp for a pookie. Don't tell Black women about discernment. Black men are sad. You guys pedestalize a closeted homosexual pookie in a suit with no credentials. What credentials does he have? Spraying perfume? He can tell you what perfume to wear to a wedding? Like what? Like slap yourself.
Okay.
Poor people alert.
That's what she said.
If he was in the circle, these dudes wouldn't give him the fucking time of day. But because he tickled their ears the way Derek Jackson tickled the ears of women, they are all in. All of a sudden, it's okay not to be perfect. They have the audacity to bring up the name Martin Luther King with a con man.
No. See, and that's the hardest part. I'm just sitting up there. It's just like sometimes it's like this. It's just like this. If the advice is valid, fuck who gives it to you. If it's valid and it works. Hold on. I'm asking a question. Do you? All right, not you. Just put women, just women, not all, some. If you want to put that up, feel free to grab your side. Do most women want a man that is taller than them?
Yes.
Do most women want a man that's in decent shape?
Yes, we want.
Do
Is
most
that
women
what
want a
most
man that
women
is
are getting?
financially
No.
secure?
The
Hold
answer is
on.
no.
I'm
That's
just
not
asking
what
the
most
questions.
women
Do
are
they
getting.
financially secure?
That's
In
not
most
what most
cases, make
women
more
are
than
getting.
them.
Who cares?
No, what I'm
But
saying
that's
in most.
innate. That's human nature. That is
Okay,
since
okay. Men don't. No, I'm saying I'm not saying men don't want that shit. All I'm saying is it's like most women want those things. So if a man who is a whatever you call it, whatever term you call it for him, whatever says, men get your shit to this level. Get if you can't be 6 feet, make 6 figures. You can't be this. Do this. If get to become the best version of yourself. I don't care if Derek Jackson, Kevin Samuels, or the Joker says become the best version of yourself, and you will get all the pussy. You will get all the women. You will get all the relationships.
Derek Jackson, he's been telling you that for years.
No. He's been telling women.
Hold on. No. Hold on.
No,
He has not been.
No, Damien.
His books have been centered toward women. By his audience was women.
Damien.
Let me ask you a question, Damien.
Yes.
Mentira.
So wait a minute. So you're saying that he has a good message and it's about being the best that you can be. Give me one clip, one instance. You can paraphrase a sentence in which he talked to Black men and said, you know what? Part of leveling up is about your character, your principles, your integrity, is about your empathy, is about your communication. You can tell me that and I will concede.
Because you know what? Because you know why? Ask Jen on Kindred G. Did you go say you wanted empathy, communication, and integrity? You said you want a 6-inch dick. You said you want a 6-pack. And you said you want 6 figures.
Come on, let's be intellectually honest. Why did I say that? You know why I said that? Here's why I said that. This is why I said it. Because I knew there was going to be a bunch of man bitches in the chat that was going to blow up my channel, and that's what happened.
All I'm saying is, but you said it because you know
men are so easily to trigger. Okay, if you really believe half the shit you were saying, you would have all subscribed to Derek Jackson and listened to what women
those things aren't what a lot of women want. Those things. So you're saying those things you mentioned, and a lot of other women have mentioned, aren't the things that women really want. They really don't want a 6 foot tall dude, 6 figures, 6-pack, and in some inches 6 inches. They don't really want none of that.
1 second. Thank you for the super chat. Necessary evil. Somebody has to mute. Somebody has to mute their mic.
So they don't really want none of that. They want all that other stuff. That
I'm gonna answer, coño. There's a lot of people in the room right now. I hope my likes match the people lurking. If you're enjoying this conversation, it's really, really good. Hit that like and subscribe. Feel free to super chat me if you got something to say that you want me to read. Thank you, Necessary Evil. Necessary Evil says, this no shirt decision is disrespectful and narcissistic, in my opinion. Knowing you wanted to be on a panel tonight, feminine isn't the worst sin of man. Okay, I think Necessary Evil wants people with shirts on. Put your shirt on before you come up. We don't want to see the pigeon chest. Okay. I do want to welcome.
But nobody answered the question. Like she asked for a clip.
I'm going to answer.
Okay.
I want to welcome Sean in the 18th letter. Here's the answer to your question. Women, like men, talk about what they want constantly. Women, I want 6 feet. I want 6 figures. That is not what the fuck we end up with. You know it and I know it. It's just something to say. It's just like, man, she got to have a fat ass and a little waist, and she better learn how to cook, and she better be a good, and they don't end up with that. Everybody has a fucking Disney list. Women talk that because that's what we're told to want, and men talk about what they want in a woman because that's what they're told and taught to want. Nobody ends up with that shit. Nobody ends up with that because that's what we're told. We say. And men talk about what they want. Mute your mic, people. There's feedback. Okay, since we've been popping off at the mouth for a while, I do want to welcome Sean and the 18th letter. Please feel free to comment. I know, Sean, you've been trying to get up, so you can go ahead and go first, and then after you, the 18th letter. You have to, you're watching me in the background. You have to lower it. You can go ahead and go first, and then after you, the 18th.
This is amazing.
No, I'm just listening.
Oh, you don't have anything to say?
Huh?
You don't have anything to say?
Just saying. I used to watch Kevin Samuels. I most of the time I disagree with him.
You have to, I know, but you have to lower me in the background because we can't hear you. There's feedback.
Yeah, what?
There's feedback. You have to
Jesus
lower me in the
Christ.
background.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my fucking God.
I'll pass the mic to. Why
It's
am I
one of the
not?
remedial guys they were talking about earlier.
Why am I not?
Yo, what's going on? Ron is in
Fuck.
demon mode today. Yo,
The 18th letter. I'll pass the mic to you. What say you?
Hey, how you doing today, Jen?
We're doing really good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm currently working right now, so if you hear any background noise, I'm currently working. I just wanted to put my 2 cents into this situation because
Okay.
I believe I heard
It's a little windy, so just make sure you talk loud. Or I don't know what that noise is, but it's a little.
okay, yeah, I drive trucks for a living, so I'm actually driving right now.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to speak a little bit because earlier I heard one of the females on the panel say something about we don't care about your pain or any of this or something that she said. I can't remember. I was listening to it a little bit earlier. In my personal opinion, based off of from what I'm seeing in what's going on right now, it seems like the women are the ones that's complaining the most. Most of the time, the men we just go on about our business. We not really tripping or anything like that. As far as Kevin Samuels go, I watched Kevin Samuels from the beginning, and if anybody know anything about Kevin Samuels' content, he was very critical. He was very critical of men. He was very critical of men. For the woman on the panel that asked what is going on with somebody's audio.
I'm gonna have to drop him down because I can't. Okay, go ahead.
He was very critical of men, and I advise you all to check out a video that he made called "Things That Your Father Should Have Taught You," where he was getting on men's asses. He was critiquing men for the first 3 years of him being on his YouTube channel, and prior to that, he did cologne videos. Do I agree with everything Kevin Samuels said? Absolutely not. But it's a lot of validity in what he was saying because it's a lot of women that's used to getting catered to. Men don't get catered to. We are taught the harsh realities and the truth from childhood. And just this whole thing about comparing black men to white men, if people haven't been paying attention, it's only 3% of the wealth in this country, and pretty much you have a lot of white men that are not doing too well at this particular time. See, it just sounds like to me that a lot of women, they're not paying any attention to what's going on around them, and while the Titanic is shipping, they want to twerk at the bar and order a martini, and the economy is not doing too great right now.
Was that it?
Yeah, that's all I got to say.
Okay, so I wanna. My response is, yeah, he did go hard on the men, but he knew his money was in bashing black women. I mean, let's not pretend that that wasn't the case. He did also talk badly about black men, but his money was in bashing black women.
Can I speak on that really quickly? I just want to say something.
Let me just finish my point, and then you can speak. As far as you know, what he stopped doing. Someone touched on it. He stopped because it wasn't good. Go ahead, because well, you said that men don't complain. It's women that complain, and men go about their business. There are literally millions of men subscribed to Red Pill channels, Manosphere channels, Kevin Samuels channels, and all they do is complain about women on a 24-hour cycle. So men are complaining, and they're complaining a lot, and they're complaining more than women. So much so that I'm shocked at what I see on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. It's nothing but men sounding like women and drowning women out because they're complaining so much. So men are definitely not going on about their business. They have a lot to say and they keep saying it. But you could respond.
Yes, the reason why his channel didn't blow up bashing black men is because.
Oh, God stopped you.
Can
God stopped you. God saved you from Anna. God saved you from Anna.
But Tristan, I love you. Don't do that.
Tristan, you are
I love you,
way
Tristan.
you're in the wrong lane, bro.
I
You
wish
need to
this
have
was
your own
liquor.
comedy special. That is, you are
Oh
natural
my
comedian.
god.
I wish this
Oh
was
my
liquor.
god. Oh my god.
God said nope.
Oh my god.
I did.
I take the water. You're
I did.
stupid.
All right. So what I was saying is that um practically, like, we can talk about the manosphere channels, but the manosphere came about from all of this stuff that was been going on with women for quite a long time. Like, I can name 10 divestment channels on the at the tip of my fingertip. As far as like what's going on with the situation with Kevin Samuels didn't just have black men that was his followers. He had men of all races, and he had quite a lot of women on.
And he's
Yep.
gone. Okay.
Yep.
So what I
Like I
wanted to
said.
say to what he was saying, what I wanted to say to what he was saying is just we're doing the chicken or the egg, right? It's still men have a role, women have a role. When women sit at the hair salon and gossip and chit chat and talk about the boyfriends and the husbands or the men that they want, we don't expect men to come running in there and say, but what we want is X, Y, and Z, right? What happened with the manosphere happened because of the divestment channels. Like, I wear panties. Is a man gonna wear panties because I wear panties? Men are supposed to be a certain way. That is what women expect. We don't expect men to act like women. So when a man tells me, well, those manosphere happen because you talking about us, that's not what we expect from men. Now we're talking what came first, the chicken or the fucking egg. The point is that there are countless men. He did lie. He said men go about their business, they're not talking. And then he said, well, they're only here because of divestment. So he's moving the goalpost. No, men are worse than women online. I don't care who wants to challenge that. There are more male channels. There are more males in my chat and on Facebook. There are more males crying about what women are doing on Instagram. It is men. It is saturated with men. The people in most I don't argue with women. When was the last time y'all see me argue with a woman on fucking YouTube or Facebook or Instagram? People that know me beyond this, I am always arguing with men who are in their feelings about what I said. It is men. 99.999% of the time, men are in their feelings. It is not women. So please don't tell me that women started it or women are the same way. It is men. It is men, and it's been men for a decade. For a decade, on my ass for a decade, crying about everything I say.
What is
Jen, sorry, baby. Sorry, Tristan. I have to skedaddle, but before I do, like I said, I'm gonna be here more often. I love and miss you, Tristan. I love and miss you. But the last thing I want to say is to any Black women or women listening in the chat: don't let these men use marriage as a weapon against you. Don't let them manipulate you with it. Don't let them overvalue themselves anymore. They're not the ones, period. Continue to get your education, continue to take care of yourself, love yourself, get therapy. And as far as Black men are concerned, yeah, keep listening to a booty goon like Kevin Samuels and feminine and fresh and fit. Keep listening to them and let them lead you off of a cliff right into hell, because that's where you're going alone.
Black man, kill yourself.
That's not what I said, but the rates of death of despair, they are rising. But I love you all, and good night.
That is true. That is true.
The deaths of despair are rising amongst the women at the most. You got Black women getting evicted at the highest rate right now. And as far as getting an education, yeah, get an education. But if you're not really making no money, if you go into school and you get an education and you make a $40,000 salary and you got over $80,000 to $90,000 in student loan debt, who's the one? What's the purpose?
So I want to, Don Levon, you're absolutely right. Don Levon says, but there are women are now in the manosphere, the barbershop now because it's lucrative. It's very easy. Let me tell you something. I say it all the time. If I flip my channel tomorrow, I have almost 4,000 followers. If I flip my channel tomorrow to pander to men, you guys would make me fucking wealthy because you're very, very easy to bait. Super easy. Like, and I got
why she don't do it?
very,
I be trying to get her to do it.
very easy to bait. I can flip tomorrow. I could flip my channel tomorrow and just talk to a bunch of losers who are broke, who are not attractive, who are short, who have receding hairlines and guts, and tell them that it's not their fault that these relationships are going bad, that women just want to use them for their money in their pockets and they don't deserve them, and all those number fours are trying to get you and they don't deserve it. And you motherfuckers would make me fucking wealthy because you're so easy to pander to. You're so easy to pander to all the time. You're always crying and whining about what women don't want you and why you're not being picked, and nobody wants to ride or die with you, and you want your struggle buddies to love you like your mama loves you. You will make me wealthy because you're easy pickings. And that's why, like Don Levon said, there are women now who have infiltrated the manosphere because they know these motherfuckers are dumb. All I got to tell them is that he's right in what he thinks and women ain't shit and you're going to pay me. That is why women are now running your pockets the way your man Kevin Samuels ran your pockets. That is a fact. That is not fiction. That is why now you see more women going to, I saw a white lady just yesterday talking the same shit to a room full of what? Black women and black men, and that white bitch is getting paid. Why? Because she's sitting in a room full of black men and black women telling black men that black women ain't shit. And black men are eating it up, hook, line, and sinker. Like, yeah, you tell him, Becky. So everybody's doing it. You are bait for everybody, because you're not doing the inner work and the self-work and the self-improvement that you have done. So you are fucking bait. That's bait.
Why are you going to embarrass this man like that?
I'll bring the popcorn. I'll bring the popcorn.
You know that's how that's going to end.
He gonna make men out of y'all.
She gonna come on this motherfucker. She be like, black men.
We gotta love Annalise here, though. We all have our points of view. It's like we log off. We don't give a damn. You know that. It's all good. We all come from our own experiences. With that said, this was a good one. It was exciting, right? We were entertained. We had a bunch of people in the room. And we'll do something tomorrow, more fun. This was crazy tonight. This was a little crazy. Y'all were acting crazy. I wasn't. I was calm. Y'all were acting crazy.
Oh no, Jen, you was crazy. You got crazy a couple times.
You attacked the coolest man on here named Dame. I'm not giving you that one. I am defending this man. Thank you. You attacked this poor, righteous man.
Dame can hold his own, man.
Yeah, I'm good.
He's really good. He's really good.
Listen.
I need
His hat is lower than before.
He be all right.
His hat is lower than before. Okay, you hurt his feelings. All right.
I'm gonna cry when this get off. I'm gonna cry in the car.
Exactly. I'm defending my client on this one. This is abuse. This is abuse. Whatever you want to call it, mental anguish. I'm calling it everything.
This is my love language for your information.
Harassment. I'm sorry. HR. I'm joking.
It's not love language. Brother Ish. All right, guys, we out of here. Let's call it a night. I love you all. Thank you for being here. I don't know what you have for us, Tristan, but I don't know. Take us out.
Let's see what I got here. You know what? Because y'all keep living in the past, your whole manosphere talking about traditional women. How about this one? If you don't let the past die, it won't let you live.
Ooh.
There you go. Ooh. There you go. Bomb drop.
I love you all. Class is dismissed.
Peace out. See y'all later.
Peace.
All right, guys. That one was one for the books. If you're still here, hit that like and subscribe on your way out. Don't forget my super chat is on the bottom if you enjoyed this show. On the Block with Jen, okay, at Cash App. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for holding me down in the chat, guys. Thank you for coming up and sharing your thoughts, whether I agreed with them or not, whether I thought you were a fucking idiot. Thank you for coming up and giving us your time. Hit that like and subscribe, por favor. I am on the Block with Jen on TikTok, on Instagram and at Gmail if you want to email me about a topic or something that you thought about, or if you want to do a sequel to anything you've seen me do. I really do appreciate you all. Tonight got a little crazy. We're not always this crazy, but sometimes this happens. We're passionate people. We're coming from our own fucking experiences, right? Some of us have triggers, some of us don't, but I do wish you all very, very, very well. And I wish you healing if that is what the fuck you need. I just want to leave you with this note. Your healing is not on the internet. Your healing is not on the internet. You have to do the work, unfortunately. It ain't easy, but it's worth it. And with that, I shall bid you adieu. Good night and thank you. Later, guys. And I'm out.